W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at whmsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
We're the Skinner Brothers. Most folks only need a lawyer once or twice in their lives. And when they're injured or in an accident, most people don't know what to do. We get it. It can be overwhelming.
Nobody likes to be told, you need a lawyer. But that's why we're here. We want to get you back to your normal life and help you recover.
So if you or a loved one has been in an accident, give us a call. Let us figure out how we can get you compensation.
Reach us at SkinnerWins.com or Google Skinner Lawyers. We'll treat you like family.
Finally, West Virginia is moving in the right direction. As your West Virginia Senate President, Craig Blair has passed the most conservative legislative agenda in the nation. He has fought for our values like banning elective abortions, protecting our Second Amendment rights, and prevented boys from playing in girls' sports. Senator Craig Blair championed the largest tax cut in the history of our state. Craig Blair, a strong conservative leader. Promises made, promises kept. This election, vote for Republican Craig Blair for State Senate. Paid for by the committee to re-elect Craig Blair.
The challenges of tomorrow need a leader of character. A West Point graduate, a retired active duty Army veteran with 27 years of uniformed service, a battle-tested leader who knows what it means to serve. We need conservative Mac Warner. As a veteran, family man, and lifelong servant leader, Mac has the values and experience to fight for our children, our families, and our future. Mac Warner is ready to serve.
It's time for the excitement of NCAA Division II football featuring the Shepherd Rams and the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Today's coverage is brought to you by the Smallwood and Small Insurance Group, W. Harley Miller Systems, Chris Miller and the Dutch Miller Automotive Group, the Marius Group of Ameriprise Financial Advisors, Rock's Local Markets, Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, Bechtel Jewelers, CMA Honda of Winchester, Brown Funeral Home and Cremation Robert Fields & Sons, Orsini's Home Store, Hagerstown Ford, the Berkeley County Health Department, Modern Realty Results, and the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm. Standing by is our TV10 broadcast team, so let's head to the field and get today's pregame show underway.
Good morning and welcome to Rams Stadium here in Shepherdstown, West Virginia at the newly named Coach Monty Cater Field. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith, our cameraman. Today is Dylan Bishop, and back in the studio is Colin McLaughlin as we get you set here on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. W. Harley Miller Systems providing custom integration services like home and office automation, home theater, networking, audio video distribution, and more. Call 304-350-1931 or visit WHMsystems.com. Travis, when you look at it today, Shepherd taking on East Stroudsburg in essentially a play-in game, presuming both teams can get a win, of course, next week as well. But Shepherd coming in as the number 9 seed in the Region 1 power rankings or ratings, whatever you want to look at it as, and East Stroudsburg number 4. They could probably afford a loss and still get in if they're able to win next week against Cal, but obviously a win over Shepherd today would be huge for them. A win over East Stroudsburg for Shepherd with Mercyhurst on the horizon probably sets them up to get into the postseason.
And it's a weird spot for the Rams to be in. In the past couple of weeks, we've seen the best and worst that this Rams football team has to offer in terms of their play out there on the field. They come off of a tremendous win against Westchester, a solid opponent, not a great opponent, but a solid opponent. But the Rams go out there and play their absolute best football, all 3 phases of the game for 4 quarters, and you saw what this Rams team is capable of. And then they followed that week up, going up against the Bloomsburg team that didn't have a lot of wins or a lot of success so far this season, but they did lose a lot of close games. So it was something where the team had more talent than what their record necessarily reflected, but the Rams just went out and did not play a good game, and it was something where they had a lot of breakdowns throughout their team. It was in all three phases. The offense didn't click. They had opportunities throughout that game. The defense had issues, and we knew it was going to be a matter of time before those injuries were going to start to really manifest themselves out there on the field as far as like just miscommunication. That was something we talked about during pregame. When you have that many new people out there in the field, it's going to put even more of an emphasis on communication on the defensive side of the ball, and we saw a couple of breakdowns during the game where wide receivers were able to get behind that secondary because you had those new corners or new safeties out there. They were peeking in the backfield, and it allowed a couple big plays, and that's all Bloomsburg really needed to really come away with a big win at home in front of a pretty big crowd. So now the Rams coming in off of the highest of the highs and the lowest of the lows, and they have a very tough opponent in East Stroudsburg. They are red hot so far this season, 8-1 on the year, and you look back to that Warriors ball club last year, they were a 4-7 ball club, so right around 500, a little bit below 500, but they've really put it together this year, and they're coming in and they're putting up tons of points on the board, averaging over 35 points per game. So this Rams defense is really going to have their hands full today with a Warriors ball club that's looking to get into the playoffs, and they're really having a confident season, and it's going to be a tough challenge for this Rams team to bounce back after that tough loss last week to come up against a very determined and confident East Stroudsburg football team.
Yeah, Travis, you bring up the injuries on defense, and maybe that played a little bit of a factor, but ultimately they still only gave up 14 points and just 10 points scored from this Shepherd offense. That overall is pretty healthy, and they're going to get even more healthy today with the return of Cam Dorner to the wide receiver position, but he was really the only key starter that they were missing besides Isaiah Russell, who's been a rotational player, but they've found guys to fill in like Barnett, who have done a good job in that role. So, this offense has been healthy, but they struggled last week. And really, I feel like they were the letdown overall. The defense giving up 14. Shepherd wins those games all the time where their defense gives up 14 points, but only scoring 10 a week ago, a season low. And like I said, this team was relatively healthy offensively, so it was a weird performance from the Rams, but they do get one of their big play wide receivers back in Cam Dorner today.
And that was something that we saw beginning to emerge early on in the year between that big three of Jeremiah Taylor, Barry Hill, and Cameron Dorner. And not that those other wide receivers haven't done a good job coming in. We look back, Ethan Williams really had an opportunity last week to shine in this Rams offense. 4 catches for 47 yards, scoring the lone touchdown of that Rams offense. And it was just something where they didn't seem to get into a rhythm. And in the second half that the Rams have proven to be gritty throughout this season, but in that third quarter it was turnovers. It was just spotty play, different penalties here and there, and it was just something where they weren't able to get on track, and that's something that we haven't seen. And like you mentioned, that defense, they did play well, had several goal line stands, forced some turnovers in the red zone, so the defense certainly played well enough to keep the Rams in the game, but it was just you didn't get the big plays on special teams like we've been seeing all season long, and then the Rams offense just had a power outage. It was almost like they blew out their pilot light from the Westchester game where they put up 59 points, and then they weren't able to get back into that groove again versus Bloomsburg. So now you're looking at today's game. They're certainly going to have to put up some points against this East Stroudsburg team. It's a balanced attack. They do well running and passing. They've had several players step in at the quarterback position and be productive. So it's going to be a difficult scout and preparation getting ready for East Stroudsburg because you're not quite sure who's going to be the signal caller for this Warriors ball club.
Yeah, you bring that point up. And all three guys that have done it for the most part do a lot of the same things well. So I guess that's a good thing from the Shepherd preparation side is McKee, Tobias, and McTaggart can all run and throw pretty well. They're about all the same size, do a lot of the same things. We believe Charlie McKee is going to be the starter. He's the guy that's listed in bold on our 2-deep, but all three guys are listed, and all three guys have played well throughout the season. So McKee is the one without any interceptions heading into this game, and it appears to be their starter today.
And McKee coming over, he's a sophomore. He's a transfer from Stony Brook. And you look back to his high school days, he made quite a name for himself in the state of New York, the 2021 Gatorade Football Player of the Year in New York for Oceanside High School. So a highly touted recruit, like we mentioned, coming over from Stony Brook last week. Only a couple snaps for him. He completed 3 for 3, 50 yards, a touchdown. He also had a carry for 3 yards. But you talked about in 5 games of work this year, he's completed 76% of his passes for nearly 400 yards, 5 touchdowns, and no interceptions. He can also get it done on the ground. 22 carries, 95 yards with 2 touchdowns. So that's a good problem to have if you're East Stroudsburg, if you're able to go down basically to your third quarterback and still be very productive and win ball games. And that's something that East Stroudsburg has been able to do throughout this season.
Yeah, they're kind of the opposite of the saying of if you have more than one quarterback, you don't have any quarterbacks. Apparently they got 3 really solid ones. But let's go ahead and take our first 2-minute break here on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. On the other side of this break, we'll be joined by the head coach of the Shepherd University Rams, Ernie McCook. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs? Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
My kids, you know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
I'm Jonathan Bodwell, Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare and life insurance agency. We are here to help you navigate the Medicare maze. We represent all of the major carriers, and you do not pay any more to go through us than if you go directly through a carrier. But if you go through us, you have a local professional to help you with all your Medicare needs, not a voice that could be in some other part of the world. Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare agency. BodwellInsuranceSolutions.com or 304-283-0864.
We welcome you back on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. We'll now get into our coach's interview, brought to you by Parsons Ford. They're located at 1400 Shepherdstown Road or online at parsonsford.com. They became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons. We're now joined by the head coach of the Shepherd University Rams, Ernie McCook. Coach, 14-10 loss to Bloomsburg. What did you take away from the game?
It was a very disappointing loss. I thought we didn't play very well on offense. I think our defense did a great job stepping up. I thought we played well special teams-wise, but we didn't make the plays necessary to win. We have to overcome adversity when it does happen. We didn't do that. Again, I can't tell you if there was a disappointing loss for me.
You mentioned, the offense kind of struggling. What are some things you're trying to work on here moving forward to prevent those struggles in the future?
Consistency. You want to. The more consistent you are doing the little things right, the big things take care of themselves. We've got to be better at that. We've got to be more disciplined with how we play. We can't do things that let outside factors factor in the outcome of the game. We got to control what we do, and we have to do a good job with what we do.
Some positives from the game. Ethan Williams leads you guys in receiving. He's been a transfer that came in. I know he dealt with some injuries. What does he kind of bring to this wide receiver group?
Ethan is a big body kid. He's a smart football player. He kind of gets in the right position. He can do a lot of different things mentally. He's got great hands, and he is contributing to our success, yes.
And defensively, you were able to force 3 turnovers. What have you seen from the defense the last few weeks?
I think our defense is flying around, wanting to make plays. They're playing with great effort and energy. So we got to feed off of that as a team.
With the loss, you guys, the rankings came out. You're 9th right now. So definitely still a shot to achieve some goals and make the postseason. This week will obviously be huge toward that. Has that kind of been the mindset heading into this week, that we got to control what we can control and continue to try to win?
That's exactly right. We just have to focus on this football game, play our game. We want to be better than we were last week. We got a really good football team in East Stroudsburg coming in. We're going to have to play well to be able to find a way to win in the end.
You guys are recognizing Coach Cater this week as well. Obviously, he's meant a lot to you in this program. What can you say about this week and how special that will be?
I think it's really awesome that we're going to name the field here in the stadium after him. Well deserved. The guy's had a tremendous career here. He's all about Shepherd football. He is the legacy of Shepherd football, and I'm looking forward to celebrating this day with him.
What will be some keys to get the win?
We have to be consistent on offense. We have to take care of the football, don't turn it over. Defense continue to play the way they are, running to the football, creating turnovers. And we have to play fundamentally sound.
Includes our coach interview brought to you by Parsons Ford, located at 1400 Shepherdstown Road in Martinsburg, or online at parsonsford.com. They became number one by making you number one first, Parsons. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10.
At Dutch Miller Automotive, we've grown quite a bit over the last 60 years, but our core principles remain the same. We believe in treating our customers and our team members like friends and family. And we see it as our obligation to give back to all the communities we are so fortunate to do business in. In just West Virginia alone, we've grown from one location on the west end of Huntington to 10 rooftops employing more than 500 Mountaineers. Check out the inventory from all of our stores at DutchMillerAuto.com. Dutch Miller Automotive Group, West Virginia proud.
Have you heard the news? Bechtel Jewelers is going out of business. Hi, I'm Lori, and I want to thank our cherished customers for years of friendship. We are liquidating our entire inventory with savings up to 70%. Come visit us in Inwood, now during our Diamond Stud Blowout, where for a limited time, our diamond studs are up to 50% off. Don't miss your chance to get the diamonds of your dreams.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
The Skinner family has been representing West Virginians for more than 50 years.
We've changed the name of our firm to Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers because we want to be clear about what we do. We represent people who have been in car, truck, and other catastrophic accidents.
We're here to be a voice for the injured and vulnerable, and we take that job seriously with deep commitment to serving our clients wherever they are.
Just Google Skinner Accident Lawyer or visit SkinnerWins.com. We'll treat you like family.
Back to Ram Stadium here in Shepherdstown, West Virginia. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith here on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. Colin McLaughlin back in the studio. And our cameraman this afternoon will be Dylan Bishop. So we talked about the offenses, Travis. We take a look now at these two teams' defenses. And defensively for Shepherd, like we said, a lot of injuries, but it seems like some of those guys are going to be back today. In particular, we saw Emilio Pena warming up, so they'll have him back at safety. I didn't see a Dwayne Grantham or Dante Harrison out there, so it looks like they'll still be without them. But to get Pena back, I mean, that's a big-time hitter on this defense and a guy that has the experience and certainly helps you out on that back end when you talked about some of those big plays they gave up last week.
Absolutely, and he's just somebody that those new faces are going to be able to look to and ask him some questions. The Shepherd defense, they use him in a variety of ways, so that means that you have a knowledgeable football player. He has a great football IQ, so if you're able to use him in so many ways, he's just going to be an asset out there, almost like having another coach on the field for some of those younger guys that are going out there and getting their first action of the season. And Pena, they're going to need him today. You can look back to last year versus East Stroudsburg, had a very big game, 10 tackles, 5 of those coming solo, and Pena has just been racking it up again this year. Even after missing a couple games, still has 48 tackles, 27 of those solo, 2.5 tackles for loss, 1 interception, and 3 pass breakups. So he's just an impact player in a variety of ways. Not only can he make plays in space, but he's also a very tough defender in the box. So anytime you have a player of his caliber out there on the field, it's just going to make things easier. And again, this Rams defense, they're playing tough football, but they're going to need some help from the offensive side of the ball or special teams. They're going to need some points because you can figure that this Rams defense, they're going to be ready for the challenge, but they're going to need some help and can't be out there all day against a team that likes to run the ball as much as East Stroudsburg.
And when you look at the East Stroudsburg defense, they have some veterans on that side of the ball. 4 fifth-year players on their team. So, a team that definitely gets after it defensively as well as offensively, and overall it's just a really good balance on this football team.
Yep, and you look, and it starts up front with this Warriors defense, with that defensive line doing a great job of getting after the quarterback. Coming into today's ball game, having 28 sacks by that group, so they're going to be tough in their front seven. And like you mentioned, just a lot of veteran football players on that defensive side of the ball, and it's been a big part of what they've been able to do this year, and racking up an 8-1 record coming into today's game on a 4-game win streak. They're only giving up about 18 points per game, and that's pretty tough because you have a lot of talented teams in the PSAC. So if you're able to consistently go out there and play great defense week in and week out, you're going to have a great chance to win some ball games. And you look at that defensive line, it's going to start with the big fella up front, Deshaun Dixon, the 6'2", 270-pound redshirt sophomore, one of the young guys, but has been having a whale of a season. The big defensive lineman, 49 tackles, 20 of those solo, has 11 tackles for loss, 6 of those are sacks. So he's a player that has made his home in opposing offense's backfield. So the Rams are certainly going to have to contain number 0. And that's something that Rams offensive line has done for many years, is when they're going up against a team that has a premier defensive lineman, they do a great job of scheming him out of the game. So that's going to be the battle. That's going to be the game within the game, is how that Shepherd offensive line is going to be able to contain Deshaun Dixon up front.
We'll go in the huddle on the other side of this 2-minute break with Shepherd Rams wide receiver Ethan Williams, as well as linebacker JT Yao-Kome. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford, with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars, too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
As a lifelong Jefferson County resident, Paul Espinosa has been a champion for the Eastern Panhandle. Paul is the effective, fiscally conservative voice we need in the West Virginia Senate. He's fought for job creation, student-centered education, the rights of the unborn, protecting our family farms, and was a leader in passing income tax relief for all West Virginians. When residents of the 16th Senatorial District cast their votes for their next senator, the choice is clear. Paul Espinosa for West Virginia State Senate. Paid for by Espinosa for Senate, Mary C. Espinosa, Treasurer.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at whmsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
We now go in the huddle, brought to you by the Mirius Group of Ameriprise Financial Advisors, John Everson and Phil McCoy. Stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue or give them a call at 304-263-4343. We now go in the huddle with Shepherd Rams wide receiver Ethan Williams. Ethan, you scored your first offensive touchdown this past week in the game against Bloomsburg. Also had the most yards and most catches in the game for you so far since coming to Shepherd. So what was your takeaways from the game in terms of your individual performance?
It was actually kind of heartfelt because, after going through a lot of injuries that I had, and to be back on the field and to ball out with my friends, and coach giving me the opportunity to play this weekend and finally being able to score, so it kind of felt a lot really was heartfelt. So, yeah.
For you, you've had kind of an interesting journey. You started your career at Boston College, and then you transfer here. What kind of led to your decision to come to Shepherd?
So I feel like you guys know that Wyatt's my little brother. He kind of recruited me and coming here and said it was going to be an opportunity for me to play. So came here, and it's been up ever since.
Yeah, you talked about that relationship that you have with Wyatt, and just, I guess, for people that don't know, kind of explain your relationship.
So me, Wyatt played up for Little League football when we played. I started playing when I was 6, and Wyatt was playing when he was 5, and he played up on my team, and he was my center. We played since we both were on the same youth league all the way up to 13U, I'm pretty sure, and then I went to high school and he went to Spalding. I went to Broadneck High School and he went to Spalding, so that was when we split apart, but we've been talking and chopping it up with each other ever since, so yeah.
And for you, also, you're one of the wide receivers in this offense, an offense that typically uses a lot of different wide receivers. How do you feel like, you fit in with this wide receiver group?
We all are very good. I'm just doing my job, what Coach tells me to do, and he finds ways for us to win, for us to use our best abilities. He puts people in the best position to win.
And East Stroudsburg wasn't the result you guys wanted. Bloomsburg wasn't the result you guys wanted, but you guys got East Stroudsburg this week, another big game. What are some things that you're seeing from their defense?
It's basically we like I'll say we like the matchup, and I think that we like our guys over their guys. That's just what it comes to today. As long as we do our job and handle our business, then we'll see the results.
All right, Ethan, thank you. Good luck this week.
Thank you.
We now go in the huddle with Shepherd Rams linebacker JT Yalcome. JT coming off of a tough game for the team against Bloomsburg with the loss. But for you come up with 2 interceptions. What were you kind of seeing on those plays to get those plays?
Just watching a lot of film, just seeing the tendencies of the quarterback, just always wanting to throw that inside route. So I just got to be more patient to get to the back, which he was flying out to the flats. Just little things like that, and I picked it up, and that was the results.
In that game, what did you kind of take away from a defensive side?
Defensive side, I think we just got to work a little bit more together as a team. And I know a lot of our guys were hurt, but like Coach McCook says all the time, the next man up, the next man up, next man up. So I think this week we just got to face adversity and just go at it hard, every single one of us.
You mentioned the injuries on the defensive side, a lot of guys being out, but it seems like guys have filled in pretty well still and are still doing a good job. You're one of those guys that have maybe taken a bigger role. You're already a starter, but with Dwayne out, you're getting even more reps. So just how do you feel like you've grown over the last year? Last year you got some opportunities when Dwayne got hurt and you and Devin Lynch were kind of on the inside in that end of the season.
I think it's just by taking a lot of the coaching. I really trust my coach, Coach William, Coach Khan, and just make sure I stay on top of them. And before every game, I just ask them as many questions as I can, so I'm not too confused in the game.
Heading into this week, East Stroudsburg, you guys are still in position to potentially make a postseason run. So a big game this week. What have you seen from them so far?
They have a pretty big line, but like I said, we just got to make sure we stop the run. No explosive plays, and we have to take the ball away from them. And I think if we give as many chances to our offense as we can, then that's when we're going to win the game, possibly win the game, yeah.
You guys are also honoring Coach Cater this week. Oh, yeah. You didn't play for him, but obviously, he had a huge impact on this program. So just what does that mean to you to represent Shepherd and represent the players and coaches that came before you?
Oh, I just think always once a Ram, always a Ram, and I think this is just a whole big family, so if we have to represent them, we're going to do it, play hard, and come up with a win.
All right, man. Thank you. Good luck this week.
Always. Thank you.
Concludes our player interviews portion of the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. When we return, we will have more. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10.
The Honda Ridgeline, Passport, and Pilot are in a league of their own when it comes to rugged capability. Their relentless power and versatility make these vehicles the ultimate challengers for exhilarating adventures and formidable terrain. But it's not just performance that makes these cars special. It's the unwavering determination that inspires everything we do. That's why we're KBB.com's best value brand of 2023.
CMA's Honda of Winchester, 3985 Valley Pike. CMA's moving lives forward.
Available all-wheel drive on Pilot based on 2023 brand image awards from Kelley Blue Book. Visit KBB.com for more information.
Ollie's VIP North Side is the best spot to catch all your favorite teams. Join us Monday for Dollar Wings and Monday Night Football. Thursdays on the patio for the Cornhole Tourney. Friday night lights with happy hour specials, or Saturdays during or after the college games for steak night. Get a ribeye or New York steak for just $26.95. Ollie's has great food and drink menus too, along with 17 TVs to watch any game of your choice from anywhere at the bar or their outdoor patio and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP North Side. We'll see you for the game.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs. Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596.
To Ram Stadium in the newly named Monty Cater Field. Nick Verzley alongside me, Travis Smith, Dylan Bishop on camera, back in the studio, Colin McLaughlin. Let's get into our keys to the game, brought to you by the Dutch Miller Automotive Group, home of friends and family pricing. Travis, let's start with the visitors. East Stroudsburg will be the keys for them, and then for the Shepherd Rams as well.
Well, looking at East Stroudsburg, we last left off talking about their defense, so that's where their keys are going to begin. Their defense is going to have to limit those big plays. Make Shepherd earn it. They don't want to give up any type of run after the catch. That's something that this Rams offense has excelled out throughout this season. You want to make sure that you tackle well in space. It's certainly easier said than done. On offense for East Stroudsburg, they can settle for field goals. We've seen that a couple times this year where teams have had good opening drives and get down inside the red zone, and then they have to come away with a field goal, and that was just the window that the Rams offense needed to get back into the game, so they're going to have to be efficient in the red zone. And on defense, again, for East Stroudsburg, they're going to have to attack the ball, try to force a turnover to get an extra possession for their offense, and that's something that the Rams have struggled with this year. As far as fumbles especially, you're looking at Malachi Brown, 11 fumbles in 9 games, has been a very tough season for him holding on to the ball, and that's going to be an opportunity for East Stroudsburg to try to press their advantage in this ball game. Also for East Stroudsburg, going back to the offensive side of the ball, a nice balanced attack. They have a very good running game, but they're going to have to complement that with some play-action pass and really put some pressure on that defense. So balance is going to be the name of the game for East Stroudsburg on the offensive side of the ball.
What about for Shepherd?
Shepherd, we're going to start. They got to protect the ball. Can't have turnovers. Turnovers have been killers, and that's going to leave the door open for East Stroudsburg to come away with a win in front of this Rams home crowd. Also, communication on defense. Like we mentioned, they're starting to get a little bit more healthy, starting to get some of their people back, but you still have some new faces out there on the defensive side of the ball, so they're going to have to communicate and make sure everybody's on the same page and limit those big plays. On offense, the Shepherd Rams passing attack, they're going to have to work the middle of the field. That's when this offense really flourishes, is when the quarterback is able to work inside the hash marks and really make that defense try to guard every blade of grass out there.
Cook will take it from inside the 5. Cook, that's about the 21-yard line before he's brought down. And that was our opening kickoff, brought to you by CMA Honda of Winchester, located at 3985 Valley Pike. CMA moving lives forward. Travis, did you have anything else?
And one more thing. We need that Rams special teams unit to get that fire going again. They have had an excellent season so far. They were kind of much maligned last week versus Bloomsburg, but they have an opportunity to bounce back in a big way this week. And this Rams home crowd, no way to get them energized faster than some big plays on special teams, and that's something that special teams unit has done consistently throughout this season, and they're going to need it again here today. And they started off with a very good kickoff, and now they got East Stroudsburg on their 20-yard line. So a good start so far for that Rams special teams unit.
Ball on the 21, first down and 10 for Charlie McKee and the Warriors offense. As we'll get a look at this group, McKee in the shotgun formation. Randy Pfizer, the receiver, here to the near side, and Cook, the receiver, to the far side. In the backfield is Tyreek Lewis.
A little bit of delay in the action here so far, and I'm going to be interested to see this offensive line match up against this Rams defensive line, and no person jumps off the page faster than right tackle Guy Gilliard Jr., 6'8", 410 pounds. It's going to be matched up either with Kauser or Muley. So curious to see how that Rams defensive line is going to combat that size up front for East Stroudsburg, but the Rams defensive line does a good job of using their speed and athleticism to keep guys off guard.
So play action, McKee throws complete on the far side to Cook. Short gain of about 4, tackled around the 25-yard line. Pena back on defense, Miles Greer as well. But as I said, no Dwayne Grantham is out there on the field on the outside linebacker spot here on this near side. As here's a run on second down, and it's a big run for ESU.
Big push up the front, looked like Yalcome in on that tackle.
That was Lewis on the carry. Be a first down for East Stroudsburg.
And a different look for that Rams defensive unit. So far, Harold O'Neal has filled in for Grantham, but now we have both of them on the field, so now you have two versatile linebackers that can also make plays in the passing game.
Yeah, all three linebackers out there, and Comayao, as here's a handoff to Lewis up the middle. Johnson comes up and then makes the tackle, but really takes him for a ride. O'Neal cleaning it up as well as Pena, I believe, in on that one. It'll bring up second and short for East Stroudsburg as they move the ball to the 41-yard line. And quickly back on the ball is McKee in the offense. McKee adjusting at the line in scrimmage. 13:35 to go in this first quarter. McKee takes the snap. He'll fake it to Lewis and now run the option play, and he has some room here to the outside and will have the first down brought down on the play by Miles Greer.
And McKee was waiting for his tight end to come back and make a play, and he kept widening out, and the quarterback wanted him to crash down a little bit so he can get the edge, but McKee able to get enough to move the chains on that play, and that's just one more thing that defense is going to have to worry about, because so far East Stroudsburg has done a good job of running the ball in the middle, but now East Stroudsburg has shown them that quarterback has the ability to show that fake, pull it, and get outside and pick up some yards.
For a second I thought McKee might pitch it to his tight end. Now I formation here on first down and 10. They run Lewis, and Lewis again running hard in between the tackles against that Shepherd defense, refusing to go down on first contact. You look at Tyreek Lewis, 5'9", 175. Not the biggest guy, but he runs hard in between those tackles.
Yeah, he certainly punches above his weight, and you look at what he's been able to do this season coming into today's game, averaging 5.9 yards per carry, has 8 touchdowns on the air, also has 15 catches for 54 yards, so he is a versatile threat out of the backfield for the Warriors offense.
12:20 to go in this first quarter. East Stroudsburg moving the ball down the field. It's second down and 6 for the Warriors. McKee stands in the pocket under some pressure, and he's sacked. Richie Aguilar off the edge.
And great defense on the back end that time by that Rams defensive unit. That was more a covered sack than anything, and the young quarterback got happy feet that time, and the Rams defensive front did a good job of maintaining contain, and then once McKee tried to pull and run, they were able to collapse on him quickly to set up this second and 6.
Third down and 5.
Excuse me,
Stroudsburg. As they actually are going to say that they gained a yard on that one, so technically I guess not a sack from the 43-yard line. Well, it looks to be still at the 42 to me, so I'd say it's a sack on that one. Throw incomplete here on this near side. Naeem Alexander in coverage. The intended receiver is Randy Pfizer Jr. They'll bring up fourth down, so Shepherd all of a sudden gets a stop, Travis, even though it looked like East Stroudsburg was running the ball pretty well, was moving the line of scrimmage and seemed to be having a good drive. That sack from Aguilar and then an incomplete pass, and all of a sudden Shepherd's off the field.
And that's something that the Rams have done well on defense throughout this season, is that they make adjustments quickly. Not often do you see a team able to make those type of adjustments within a single drive, but the Rams were able to do that. And again, it's just going to be a nip and tuck game as East Stroudsburg gets the ball away. They have a rugby-style punter, so that's going to limit some of the big returns that this Rams special teams unit has had success with throughout this year.
It's Miles Greer with the fair catch. Devin Bartholomew the punter, and also the kicker for this East Stroudsburg special teams unit. So it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Rams on their own 10-yard line, and we'll see Seth Morgan in the offense for the first time today. Malachi Brown is the running back here on 1st down and 10. That is Taylor and I believe Dorner in the slot. Excuse me, that's Batten in the slot, and then
Taylor and Hill.
Hill, yes. There we go. I was having a flashback to last season. I was thinking E.J. Morgan, but I knew that wasn't right.
Sure, the Rams fans will be happy to see that.
Here's Seth Morgan handing it off to Malachi Brown, and Brown gains a few before he's tackled on the play by Pat Reynolds.
Dixon with the stop for the Warriors. 2nd down.
Looked like Brown had a bigger hole on that play. Looked like a little bit more green grass to get on that play, but cut back into the defense to still pick up a quality gain on 1st down.
The 2nd down and 6 after the 4-yard pickup. Here's a pass over the middle, caught by Batten. He's tripped up by his shoestring tackle there. Coming up making the tackle was Sergei Felizor.
With the stop for Stroudsburg.
Felizor coming into today's game, having 73 tackles, 31 of those solo. Also has 8.5 tackles for loss, including 2 sacks, a forced fumble, interception, 4 pass breakups. So we expect to call his name quite a bit today.
2-yard pickup. Yeah, Felizor maybe on the all-PSAC team, but definitely on the all-name team as Morgan looks deep to the near side. Incomplete, intended for Cordell Batten. Just through his fingertips. Good coverage on the East Stroudsburg side as well by Crumpton. And that will force a Shepherd punt and a 3-and-out for the Rams. So field position flipping. Again, East Stroudsburg should have pretty good field position here on their next drive.
And that looked to be an accurate throw that time by Morgan. He was able to drop it in the bucket, but Batten not able to maintain his concentration because, like you said, it was close defense. So that swat at the ball at the last second just seemed just enough to break up his concentration and missed an opportunity to pick up a 1st down on that play.
Barrick's punt fielded by Crawford, and Crawford with some good moves. Crawford taking it inside the 40-yard line. I think that was Aguilar there to make the tackle at around the 36. It will be excellent field position here for the East Stroudsburg Warriors. 9:49 to go in this opening quarter, and East Stroudsburg is going to take over in Shepherd territory after the good punt return from Crawford.
And that's one of the benefits of having a running game that you can rely on, is that early on in the game you can play field position knowing that chances are the odds are going to be in your favor as you get closer and closer down to the goal line. So East Stroudsburg playing a patient game, but showing some early dividends here early on as the Warriors have the ball already in the Rams' territory.
And the bigger back, Tyre Mills, comes into the backfield, 6 foot, 200 pounds. It's I formation here on 1st down, and McKee fumbles the snap, and Mills dives on top of it. O'Neal was there to bring him down, but gosh, that was a tough start there for East Stroudsburg. They come out in I formation, clearly looking to play power football now. An injury on the field as well.
Looks like the big fullback is down. That's Rourke Colligan, the 6 foot, 245-pound grad student. And when you have those type of crazy plays in the backfield, sometimes guys get rolled up on and look like the trainers are concentrating on his shoulder. If you're a fullback, that is an essential part of your game, is being able to get those big blocks at the point of attack.
Yeah, it looked like almost like the chest or collarbone area as well, as he kind of went down, grabbing at the shoulder, collarbone area. So well, let's go ahead and take a 30-second break with the injury. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10, and they're going to get him off the field. So let's go ahead and just keep it here. But hopefully nothing too serious there for Culligan, who was injured on that play. Definitely looks to be uncomfortable on his way to the sideline in some pain.
And a fullback, big part of East Stroudsburg game on offense. So if Colligan's not able to go, that responsibility is going to fall to Matt Frame, the 6 foot, 235 redshirt freshman. So going to lose a lot of experience if Colligan's not able to go back out there and play.
So 2nd and 15 here for ESU. They're going to go back to the I as McKee goes under center. Toss play here to Mills. Mills stutter steps, gets upfield for positive yardage, but overall Shepherd doing a good job on that play. Naeem Alexander, Robbie Hart, and Dwayne Grantham in on that tackle for the Rams.
Stroudsburg just trying to show that Rams defense something. You're not going to get the edge often against this speedy defense, but you want to show that there early on. It's going to create some lanes up the middle for you later on in the game.
McKee rolls out to the left, fires and completes to Cook on a 3rd and 14. So he will be short of the first down marker, but you're probably in 4-down territory if you want to do that, and I would imagine they are going to go for it as they ran that run play on 2nd and long to try to get some yards back. Didn't work out for them, but 4th down here and 6, and East Stroudsburg is going to go for it from the 34-yard line.
Again, in a weird spot for the offense because you're not close enough to have a shot at a field goal. You don't have that kind of guy on your team, but too close for a punt, so why not press your luck and see if you can get a big play early on.
McKee looking down the middle of the field and incomplete. Intended for his wide receiver there, Benny Pembleton. And it will force a turnover on downs, and the Rams will come out here for the 2nd time today.
Again, East Stroudsburg showing some faith in their defense, figuring that they had a good stop to start the game. So, again, no reason not to take a shot.
I think they had it, honestly.
Yeah.
If it would have taken a perfect pass, but Pembleton did have a step on the defensive back of Shepherd. So here we go, 1st down and 10 for the Rams as they take over at the 35-yard line. Seth Morgan in the gun, 3-receiver set. Same 3 receivers we've seen throughout the game. Cam Dorner, despite warming up, we have yet to see him here today. And again, the officials have a long delay on the changing of possessions. Morgan hands it to Malachi Brown. Brown with a nice move. And the ball came out, I think.
No, he held on to it.
Okay. That was him bouncing forward. It almost looked like the ball to me, but Malachi Brown took a shot and then kind of bounced forward, and it will bring up a 1st down for Shepherd. It's a good run that time.
It certainly doesn't lack physicality. The problem comes is when he's putting the ball on the turf is that he holds the ball away from his body. If you look at the pictures that they have of him on the Shepherd website, you see that there's a lot of space between him and the football, and that's going to lead to some problems.
Morgan nearly threw an interception. It was almost the immaculate interception as it hit off of the defensive back. Crumpton hit him in the shoulder, and then looked like East Stroudsburg Bowman nearly dived on it in the air, or dived out for it, I should say.
And Hill was playing a little bit of defensive back that time himself, going up and exposing his ribs there over the middle of the field, but did just enough to get a finger on the ball, and that changed it up just enough where East Stroudsburg wasn't able to pick it off on that play.
Dorner now in the game at wide receiver, and Morgan looks to the near side to Jeremiah Taylor, complete. Taylor shedding off tacklers and picks up the 1st down. Bowman couldn't bring him down. And Jeremiah Taylor, a big physical wide receiver. We saw him last week blocking down the field, a guy that does a lot of good things, not only in the passing game when he's catching the ball, but can block in the running game as well, and just a physical receiver on that outside for Shepherd.
And you're going to have to wrap up. Taylor is a difficult tackle for anybody, so you're not going to go over there and bump him with your shoulder. And right now the Rams with a different look.
They're saying it's 3rd down. I thought he got forward and had the 1st down, but apparently he was a yard short. Morgan looking to throw deep down the field for Cam Dorner on a 3rd and 1 and incomplete. So Shepherd now has an interesting situation. I'm presuming they're going for it as well here on 4th and 1 since they took the big shot down the field.
And that was Noah Hambrick on the coverage of that play, the 5'8", 155-pound redshirt junior, but did a good job of staying in the wide receiver's hip pocket. Dorner not able to bring that in. Made a good attempt at it with one hand. And we see a big fella in the backfield for the Rams. He was out there that last play.
Shepherd's going to punt.
Number 3, he's coming out of the game. They should switch some jerseys around. The big fella wanted to.
I think that might be Josh Hayward, maybe, or one of their other fullbacks that they have here. Could be a D lineman as well.
I'm thinking that's a D lineman.
But they will punt the football. And a slip from East Stroudsburg, fair catch, and that results in it being at the 4-yard line.
Good punt. He put the brakes on that one.
So let's take a 30-second break. No score here in this opening quarter. 6:58 to go. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10.
Finally, West Virginia is moving in the right direction. As your West Virginia Senate President, Craig Blair has passed the most conservative legislative agenda in the nation. He has fought for our values like banning elective abortions, protecting our Second Amendment rights, and prevented boys from playing in girls' sports. Senator Craig Blair championed the largest tax cut in the history of our state. Craig Blair, a strong conservative leader. Promises made, promises kept. This election, vote for Republican Craig Blair for State Senate. Paid for by the committee to re-elect Craig Blair.
We welcome you back. The clock rolled about 30 seconds off the clock during that break. They're going to have to reset that, as on the change of possession, the clock should stop, and it did not. It kept rolling. 6:26 is what's on there. I said when we went to break it was 6:58, so that's what they got to put back on the clock, Travis. I'll let them know.
There you go. Use an intricate series of hand signals to relay that information.
They gave them 4 seconds less. Keep note of it as we get close to half.
There you go. Could be huge. It's a game of inches and seconds sometimes.
Yeah. 6:54 to go here with a first down and 10 for East Stroudsburg, backed up at their own 4-yard line. McKee in the I formation. Turn around, hand it off. Jack Baxter
Blew
right up there on that run. Lewis, I think, still was able to get a yard, but a good job by Baxter on the front.
And it looked like something where the pulling guard just missed his assignment. Baxter came in there untouched. You usually see that when a team's trying to run a trap play. That pulling guard was never able to get over there and kick him out. He made a play in the backfield, but like you said, Lewis just did a good job of keeping those legs churning and picking up something positive on a play where he probably should have been tackled for a loss.
McKee rolling out, looking down the field, and incomplete, but no play on the football is what's going to hurt Shepherd for a pass interference, I believe. Gianni Gamble, the man in coverage, could have been picked off if he was able to turn around and see it. Randy Pfizer, the intended receiver, as that was underthrown.
And there is no mistaking where East Stroudsburg got that play from. There was several plays in that Bloomsburg game last week where the quarterback was able to roll out and throw that shot deep down the sideline. So it's something where these opposing teams have noticed a trend in this Rams defense, is that the corners have a tendency to keep their eyes in the backfield when that quarterback gets outside of the pocket. And that time East Stroudsburg able to take advantage, not able to complete the pass, but did a good enough job to draw the pass interference and get themselves out of the shadow of their own goal line.
Shepherd is young at corner, Travis. Christian McDowell moved from safety to corner. He's done a pretty good job. Gamble's done a good job, too, as a pass incomplete intended for Pfizer, but they're young. I mean, with Pena coming back, he brings some experience. Yes, you have McDowell who's a junior, but, I mean, Johnson's a freshman. He's been out there quite a bit with the Pena injury. Freshman in Miles Greer.
And you see how Gamble is talking with Pena. They're kind of attached at the hip in between plays. You can see Pena just trying to give him information throughout the play, and Gamble did a good job on that last play. If McKee doesn't throw that out of bounds, that's probably a pick six.
Yeah, Gamble is a junior but doesn't have much playing experience here at Shepherd. As here's Lewis on the carry, shedding off the tackle of Emilio Pena.
Lewis, you ran outside your kick-out block. He had a lane in the middle, but he tried to bounce it outside. That's something that you can't do against this Rams defense. That they are never lacking in speed and athleticism and their ability to rally to the football. Again, that kick-out block was coming, but the running back got happy feet, saw that defense bearing down on him. If he's patient and puts his foot in the ground and gets north and south, you're going to allow that kick-out block to do his job, and you're going to have an easier run trying to get north and south as opposed to trying to turn on the jets and get to the outside.
3rd down and 6, 5:30 to go in this opening quarter. McKee in the shotgun formation. 2 receivers set. Lewis the back. McKee pumps, and he escapes the sack. McKee now in a foot race is going to be brought down short of the first down marker by Dwayne Grantham, and both guys jarring at each other. McKee and Grantham.
There you go, not backing down, and Grantham coming up with a clothesline that Brett the Hitman Hart would have been proud of, and McKee letting him know he's not too happy about that. This is, you can tell, it's a playoff intensity, as it should be. You got 2 very good football teams not wanting to give an inch. We've already had like our feeling out period early on in the game. Now things are starting to get a little bit more chippy.
You like your quarterback going at one of the best linebackers in the PSAC?
No, not at all.
Here's the punt. Miles Greer will field it and look to do something with it, and he will. Miles gets a block. Greer brought down at the 50-yard line. Making the tackle was the tight end, Dawson Stort. Our first quarter brought to you on TV 10 by Skinner Accident Injury Lawyers, representing accident injury claims for over 50 years. Go to SkinnerWins.com, as well as Smallwood and Small Insurance in Martinsburg, located at 121 Administrative Drive. Call 304-263-3361. They're your total insurance solution.
I think East Stroudsburg may have learned their lesson on that last punt. A beautiful punt. More of a conventional style punt, and Miles Greer was able to get a good return on it. We saw that punt early on in the game where Bartholomew did that rugby style punt where he's running out to the side. That makes it very difficult to get a return. I can see East Stroudsburg probably using that a bit more as the game goes on. You don't want to give Greer those type of opportunities for big plays.
East Stroudsburg brings a blitz, and there goes Barnett into the secondary. First down for Jordan Barnett. Brought down on the play. Good tackle there in space from Malachi Bowman.
Bowman doing a good job. He missed the tackle on Taylor where he just tried to bump him with the shoulder. That time he comes up against a freight train, and Barnett, 6 foot, 225 pounds, and he did a good job. Form tackle going down. You want to wrap him up around the legs. You don't want to go up high against a big guy like that. And Bowman, like you said, doing a good job of possibly a touchdown-saving tackle on that play.
Got the extra lineman on at tight end. Again, number 3. Not certain who that would be, but we believe it's a defensive lineman.
See that number 3 jersey is holding on for dear life.
They run Barnett here up the middle.
Good patient run.
Not much room on it, but it will be second down.
And that's what you want out of your running backs. Of course, you want the big flashy plays where they're able to get to the edge and turn it on. But what you need from a down-to-down basis, are you going to have a running back that can get you those hard 2- and 3-yard runs consistently? Because those big plays, they'll come eventually if you're disciplined enough and you keep pounding on that defense with those hard 2- and 3-yard runs. And that's something that Barnett gives this offense, is a good, disciplined, patient running back out of the backfield.
Morgan throwing to the far side, complete to Barry Hill inside the 20-yard line for a Shepherd first down. Hill with his first catch of the afternoon. 2:50 to go in this opening quarter. Still no score between Shepherd and East Stroudsburg, but the Rams are into the red zone for the first time today.
And that's something that we didn't see last week, was getting Seth Morgan outside of the pocket. He is very good at extending plays outside of the pocket. Not so much of a running threat, but he does a good job of making those off-schedule throws and taking those checkdowns. And that time, Barry Hill able to work that comeback route on the sideline, and Morgan able to deliver an accurate pass.
Here's Hill on the flip to him.
Good block outside by Barnett.
Big hit, though, on the outside, did Barry Hill.
Field ball carry on an end around, brought down at about the 13-yard line.
We've seen Shepherd have success with that jet sweep, and primarily it's coming because those running backs do an awesome job of getting out there on the edge and giving a big block that time. Barnett was leading the way, kicking out that outside defender, giving Hill a lane to turn it up and pick up a nice chunk on first down. Now you got access to your whole playbook at 2nd and 5, about 2nd and 6. You really don't have to force it on this down. You can really take a shot if you want to.
And they will run Barnett, and he doesn't go anywhere on 2nd down and 5, tackled after getting back to the line of scrimmage on that run. Brought down on the play. That's Felazor again, the linebacker.
Fifth-year senior, 6'2", 235 pounds, and he will certainly be in on a great number of plays. Rocking number 52, your inside linebacker wearing that number, you're going to have some eyes on you.
That's for certain. First down and 10, or I'm sorry, 3rd down and 5. Excuse me, here's the pass toward the end zone for Jeremiah Taylor, but incomplete. Could not haul it in the end zone. And Shepherd will bring on the field goal unit.
C.J. LeVarin, the redshirt junior, was over there in coverage. A bit shorter on the back end for this East Stroudsburg defense. You can see the Rams, they're trying to exploit that, having the bigger wide receivers doing that fade on that play, but Sometimes Morgan's passes tend to drift a little bit when he's going to the sidelines, and that time it was just enough to pull Taylor out of bounds, wasn't able to complete that touchdown catch.
James Bozick on the season, 7 of 7 on his field goal attempts. This one from 30 as long as 43, and the 30-yarder is no good. And Bozick misses for the first time this season, now 7 of 8. And we'll take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams Football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. No score here at Ram Stadium.
The challenges of tomorrow need a leader of character. A West Point graduate, a retired active duty Army veteran with 27 years of uniformed service, a battle-tested leader who knows what it means to serve. We need conservative Mac Warner. As a veteran, family man, and lifelong servant leader, Mac has the values and experience to fight for our children, our families, and our future. Mac Warner is ready to serve.
So the field goal is no good, and we are still scoreless here at Ram Stadium. Just go over a minute, or under a minute now to go in this one, as here's the run with Mills, and Mills gets a few yards on that carry. Bring up second down for the Warriors.
Again, Baxter able to get into the backfield untouched, was giving chase from the backside. And Mills, one of the bigger backs that East Stroudsburg will use, the 6', 200-pound sophomore, doing a good job this season, having over 400 yards coming into today, well, nearly 400 yards coming into today's game. Also has 4 touchdowns on the season.
25 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Second down and 7. East Stroudsburg sending a man in motion from left to right. That is Cook. High snap. They'll go Mills again, and Mills fights forward for positive yardage before running into the Rams. Singleton in on that tackle, as well as Yao Kome.
About a yard or two short of the line to gain.
Kevin Kauser led the charge. Well, that'll do it for the first quarter of play. Scoreless after 1 between Shepherd and East Stroudsburg. We'll have a third down when we come back. We'll take a 60-second break. This is Shepherd Rams Football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
After a car accident, what do you get when you call Mansion Ferretti?
You get more experience from a local law firm with over 115 years of combined service.
More respect from a team who treats clients like their own family.
And more fight, because we want you to get every dollar you deserve.
Experience, respect, results. If you've been injured, that's what you want in your lawyer.
And that's what you'll get when you call us. Car accident? Get more with Mansion Ferretti. 304-264-8505.
At Dutch Miller Automotive, we've grown quite a bit over the last 60 years, but our core principles remain the same. We believe in treating our customers and our team members like friends and family, and we see it as our obligation to give back to all the communities we are so fortunate to do business in. In just West Virginia alone, we've grown from 1 location on the west end of Huntington to 10 rooftops employing more than 500 Mountaineers. Check out the inventory from all of our stores at DutchMillerAuto.com. Dutch Miller Automotive Group, West Virginia proud.
We welcome you back here to Ram Stadium here in Shepherdstown, West Virginia, the newly named Monty Cater Field. As they will honor Coach Cater today. Maybe they'll have something at halftime, not certain, but didn't have anything before the game. As Coach Cater going into the College Football Hall of Fame class this year, so definitely well earned. And we got a third down and 3 for East Stroudsburg to begin this second quarter. No score between the Rams and the Warriors. I think Verslini, Travis Smith here.
See if this Rams defense decides to dial up some pressure, or will they elect to use coverage to get after the quarterback. They've been able to get after the quarterback in a variety of ways this year.
McKee under some pressure. Looks deep down the middle of the field for a wide open receiver, but incomplete. John Siggins, if he could have hauled that one in, was going to easily score on that pass, but McKee just overthrowing it.
The Rams that time blitzed off the edge to try to put some pressure on the quarterback, but it left him exposed over the middle. Naeem Alexander beat to the inside, but just a little bit too much pepper on the ball by McKee. And again, East Stroudsburg, they've had their chances for big plays, but so far coming up empty-handed, and you figure that you're not going to have too many opportunities like that versus this Rams defense. That's one thing that they do well, and that's make adjustments throughout the course of a ball game.
Yeah, that's tough if you're ESU, as here's the punt. Miles Greer will, again, backpedal and haul it in, bobble it initially, breaking off tackles, and it's a solid field position here for the Rams, but you've missed a few touchdowns. That one clearly would have been a touchdown, and one that looked like it was going to be easy for them, but they just overthrew it. Had one earlier, maybe, a tougher play, though, I felt like, even though it did look like the receiver was open, but that one really hurts, and you can't leave these plays on the field against good teams. Shepherd has struggled today as well, though, taking advantage of some of the plays that East Stroudsburg has given up, or at least they had a good drive and they missed a field goal. So see what comes up here, but it seems like the ESU defense has been on the field a lot, and Shepherd's defense has gotten off relatively quickly so far. Here's Malachi Brown on the carry, and Brown running hard. Gets it across the 30-yard line, and you see those Warrior defenders ripping at that football, Travis.
And that's something you know that they're keying on. That's something that they've been talking about all week long. Those defenders, they're like sharks, and when that running back puts the ball on the ground, it's like blood in the water. And they're going to be swatting at the ball, punching at the ball, ripping at the ball every single play. So it's going to be imperative for Malachi Brown to keep that ball pinned to his body. That seems to be his issue with putting the ball on the turf, is sometimes he lets the ball get away from his body. You want no daylight between yourself and the football.
Play action. Morgan.
Good block.
Looking downfield and nearly intercepted. Intended on the play for Cordell Badden. Like Jester threw that block. I thought maybe he was going to get a hold, as it kind of looked like both guys were in that open space where you see holding called a lot of the time, but all of a sudden it's a 3rd and 7 for Shepherd.
Jester did an excellent job on that time, just giving his quarterback some extra time, and Morgan not wanting to force it. He kind of threw it in the dirt where either his wide receiver was going to get it or it was going to be an incomplete pass, but hats off to Jester on that play, just doing everything he could to give his quarterback a little bit of extra time to get the ball away.
So Morgan looking to throw and fires complete to Cam Dorner. Dorner going to be very close, but I think he might be just short.
He gave up some ground on that play. So they're going to just give him the first, and
wow,
not going to measure. I'm kind of surprised. It looked like Dorner had the first down when he initially caught it, but then took himself back behind the line of game, but
East Stroudsburg is arguing that this should be at least a measurement here. Noah Hambrick making that tackle, and they're going to move the chains without the measurement. The coach on the near side was saying, hey, he had to get to here, and he got here. How is that a first down? But they move it. So no change from the officials, and it will be a first down for Shepherd. The Rams will certainly take it in this low-scoring, no-score ball game. Shepherd having a little bit of issues getting the play in, but the play clock hasn't rolled yet. Now it rolls under 20 seconds. So Shepherd has plenty of time here on a first down and 10 with 12:55 to go in this first half. Still no score between Shepherd and East Stroudsburg. Pistol formation for the Rams on first down and 10 from the 38. Morgan hands it off to Malachi Brown. Brown gets a good hole and gets across the 40 to the 45-yard line before he's brought down on the play by Matthew Davis.
Davis with the stop for the Warriors.
Matthew Davis coming in. He kind of rotates in sometimes at that linebacker spot. Has played 7 games this year for the Warriors, having 43 tackles, 20 of those solo. Also has 3 tackles for loss, an interception, 2 pass breakups, and 2 forced fumbles, and a tackle on that previous play.
So a false start called against Shepherd, it looks like. You think that number 3 jersey is Rodney Dorsey's old jersey? Certainly looks like it, doesn't it? It's definitely not Grantham's, so
no.
I guess it would have to be Dorsey's. That's definitely not Rodney Dorsey unless he's been working out.
There you go. He's using that high-protein diet to bulk up for this season.
So you can play fullback.
There you go.
Yeah, why not? But here we go. Move it back now to a 3rd down and long. Or a 2nd down and long for Shepherd after the penalty. Morgan off the play action pass, looking for Taylor, and incomplete. Diving out of bounds, trying to haul it in. Good coverage again on the play from East Stroudsburg. That's Noah Hambrick in coverage. It will now be 3rd down and long for the Rams. So that penalty sets them back to the 40-yard line. It's 3rd down and 8 after the incomplete pass. 11:52 to go in this first half, and no score between the two teams.
And some pressure in the face of Morgan that time. Ryan Heber, the redshirt senior, coming in off the edge and not allowing Morgan to step into that throw, and that's why I kind of tailed off a little bit there at the end, making it a difficult catch for Taylor.
Morgan looks underneath, has a wide open Malachi Brown with room to run. Brown gets to the sticks and knocked out of bounds into East Stroudsburg territory to the 45-yard line, but a flag back in the backfield.
And Morgan, that's one of the things that he excels at. He's very good at taking those checkdowns, making those off-schedule throws, and that's what you want from a savvy veteran quarterback. Doesn't always have to be the big play. Let your athletes make plays in space, and that's what Malachi Brown was able to do. It looked like there was a penalty on East Stroudsburg that play, so it's going to still be a first down for the Rams football team.
So Shepherd again moves the chains back into East Stroudsburg territory for the and that 15-yard penalty is going to put them just outside the red zone here, down to the 30-yard line. But
and right now the
power formation out there for Shepherd.
The big
Barnett in the backfield.
Also have Jester out there on the field. We haven't seen Fisher. He had a heavy brace on his leg last game and had some plays where he was just late getting to the play. So maybe an injury.
Morgan throws high and complete to Brian Jester for a short gain. Jester tackled on the play by Matthew Davis. Will bring up a second down for the Rams.
So again, another injury. Not one of the bigger names for that Rams offense, but certainly a big part of the offense. They like using those tight end / H-backs in a variety of ways. We just saw Jester catch a pass on that play, but they also play a big part in the running game, almost serving in that fullback role, blocking at the point of attack.
That explains why we've had the mystery man playing fullback here today, because no Fisher, as here's Barnett running up the middle, and also no Jack Rosnage, who made that conversion from D-line to fullback and was playing big role for this team at fullback in the Edinburgh game, but he got hurt way at the beginning of the season with an ankle injury, it looked like, and we haven't seen him since then. So with no Fisher, you got to figure something out to get that blocking and that lead back, and Shepherd's made that adjustment here today.
And certainly an opportunity for Jester to kind of impress himself upon the coaching staff that he can be that guy that can fill that role.
First down and 10 from the 20. Morgan pumps, has time, now looks to run. Morgan tucks it under, gets inside the 10 and steps out of bounds at around the 7-yard line. Seth Morgan using his legs, something that is rare to see, but that time he just had a wide open lane and took advantage of it.
The East Stroudsburg defense sitting back in man coverage, and that's one of the problems when you're locked up in man coverage, and that offensive line doing a good job of giving Morgan protection. So as Morgan was seeing that field clear out to that left side of the field in front of the home fans, was smart enough to pull it down, run it out of bounds. Didn't take a big hit, but pick up a nice chunk of change on that play and setting up in a good position here for this Rams offense.
Well, handed off to Barnett, a flag immediately in the backfield.
As soon as the ball was snapped.
So probably somebody wasn't set. False start is the call.
I'll say that would have been a little quick for holding. Usually when we see the penalties in that area, it's usually holding on the offensive line. I was like, that would have been instantly holding.
Illegal formation or a false start, usually what you see in those situations. So Shepherd bounced back just a little bit. 9:43 to go in this first half. Still no score between Shepherd and East Stroudsburg, but the Rams are in the red zone for the second time today. Missed a field goal last time they got down here from 30 yards out. Barnett is the back to the left of Morgan. And they will hand it off to Barnett. He's got a better hold this time and gets it down to about the 5-yard line.
And again, with the wide receivers having the injuries that they've been having to deal with so far this year, what it does is you have to move Hill back outside. Not that he can't play that position, but he is so much more effective and so much more of a threat when he's played in the slot. When we've seen his big games this year, he's really been tough when he's playing in the slot. So you kind of lose some of that when you move him outside.
Cleel Scott in on that tackle in that last play. Here's play action, looking to the corner of the end zone for Brian Jester, but he can't haul it in bounds. And the pass goes incomplete, and it also looked like Jester pushed off to me. but no flag on the play.
Yeah, that was something where you probably could have threw a flag on either one, and that's what the defender for East Stroudsburg is trying to get the referee to say. I believe that's T.J. Harris. That was the guy that had ran over on that play as Jester came working across the back end of that goal line. The back end of the end zone.
So 3rd and goal from the 5-yard line. Malachi Brown is the back. Batten is the receiver here to the near side. And now Jester and Brown go out at wide receiver. And Morgan's under pressure. He throws over the middle toward the end zone.
He's
Caught for Brian Jester. Touchdown, Shepherd. I believe that's Jester's first of the season, and the Rams get on the board here first. Now 6-0 with 8:57 to go in this first half.
That time Morgan just throwing a bullet. Able to get that completion in the first score of the game for that Rams offense. And he had some pressure bearing down on him, so Morgan did a good job of just staring down the gun barrel and throwing that pass into a very tight window, and Jester making the most of his opportunity.
The extra point is up and good. It is Shepherd 7, East Stroudsburg nothing. We'll take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
As a lifelong Jefferson County resident, Paul Espinosa has been a champion for the Eastern Panhandle. Paul is the effective, fiscally conservative voice we need in the West Virginia Senate. He's fought for job creation, student-centered education, the rights of the unborn, protecting our family farms, and was a leader in passing income tax relief for all West Virginians. When residents of the 16th Senatorial District cast their votes for their next senator, the choice is clear. Paul Espinosa for West Virginia State Senate. Paid for by Espinosa for Senate, Mary C. Espinosa, Treasurer.
Shepherd gets into the end zone to take the first lead of the game for either team. It is 7-0 Rams on the Brian Jester touchdown reception. Our scoring drives are brought to you by Paul Espinosa for State Senate, an effective fiscally conservative voice for the 16th District. Rams will kick it away. James Bozick to kick off. And going back deep for East Stroudsburg is Cook as well as Peterson.
Jester only 8 catches this season. Had a catch last week versus Bloomsburg for 4 yards, and that was his first catch since the Lockhaven game. So doesn't get used a lot in this Rams offense, but coming up huge today for Shepherd so far.
Here goes Cook on the return, getting it out.
A couple of flags on the play. Look like it's going to be offsides on the kickoff unit. It looked like there was something towards the end zone that's going to be against East Stroudsburg. So
probably get a re-kick.
Yeah, we're going to see how this shakes out.
7-0 Rams, 8:48 to go in this first half. East Stroudsburg's had a few opportunities today, Travis. They haven't taken advantage of them so far. Shepherd with an interesting play there on 3rd and goal from the 5. They draw one up for their tight end, who, as you said, hasn't been super active in the offense. And also, at that point, Batten was the only receiver on the field. So it was kind of a weird situation there for the Rams, but it worked out for them.
Again, Morgan just did a good job. The heat was bearing down on him, and he was just able to throw a bullet in there to Jester.
So offsetting penalties looked like it was a chop block, I believe, on East Stroudsburg. And on the Shepherd side, I believe, is what, like you said, offside. So,
but nobody seems to be moving. So,
yeah, should have a re-kick, I believe, as both teams' units run off the field in terms of offense and defense. Since there's offsetting penalties, they will get the ball re-kicked now from Shepherd to East Stroudsburg. But our second quarter is presented to you on TV10 by Smallwood and Small Insurance, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive, or call 304-263-3361. And Shepherd will kick it off here at James Bozick. For the Rams, our other second quarter sponsor here on TV10 is Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Go to HagerstownFord.com. Long delay here.
It's been a weird rhythm to today's game. It's been a lot of stoppage and play, and really nothing that you can look at and see why they're stopping it so much. But I guess the referee.
Yeah, it's like both teams almost got like a timeout there.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we're going to kick it off again. I mean, yes, you can't have different types of kickoffs and stuff, but maybe they didn't like how that last one was, so they figured, hey, let's talk about it again. Onside kick coming, Travis? That'd be shocking, wouldn't it?
That would be a courageous call, to put it mildly.
I don't see that happening in a 7-0 ball game, but hey, roll the dice. James Bozick kicks it deep into, this time, Peterson on the return. And he's got a good lane, but Shepherd recovers quickly. And about where that originally kickoff return got it, about the 27 here for East Stroudsburg, and no flags on this one, so that's good as well. So now we'll see this East Stroudsburg offense again, Travis.
And again, a big drive for the Warriors. You don't want to lose your footing in this ball game. The Rams were able to piece together a drive and put the first score up on the board. So now the pressure is squarely on this East Stroudsburg offense to try to answer. And again, not having their starting fullback, you have a team that likes to run the ball as much as East Stroudsburg. Their fullback plays an important game, and it looks like Rourke Colligan probably won't be returning to action today, as they have taken his helmet and shoulder pads. It's unlikely he'll get back in the game, and just missed his big tight end on that play. McKee that time just trying to use all arm strength. His tight end was wide open on that play. You can't, again, missed opportunities after missed opportunities, and they used both of their tight ends. Jonathan Post, the 6'5", 225-pound redshirt senior, has 8 catches for 103 yards and 4 touchdowns this year. So has been a player, they don't use him often, but he has been a big impact for this offense as far as putting points on the board.
Correct me if I'm wrong here, Travis, but didn't McKee come in like over 70% completion as the ball came out? Shepherd trying to fight for it, and the Rams believe they have it. And they do.
And there's no arguing from East Stroudsburg, and Emilio Pena.
It's Pena, yeah. Well, you saw.
Of course he gets the ball. It was probably just a fight between him and Terry underneath the pile. 2 fiery defenders for the Rams defense, and that time Pena able to come up and get that ball. Like we mentioned, he had a big game versus the Warriors last year. And now you're seeing, after the Rams get that points on the board, they're able to breathe a little bit easier. Now they're swinging for the fences. This is the type of ball club that Rams fans have grown accustomed to this season.
Yeah, we'll see if Shepherd can take over and do something with it. But again, East Stroudsburg with a drop or a overthrow again, and then a fumbled football, setting up Shepherd in ESU territory. Morgan slings one over the middle, complete to Barry Hill, who goes down at the 20-yard line, tackled on the play by Felazor. He'll bring up a first down. Shepherd, they're back in the red zone.
Awesome job up front by that Rams offensive line. Morgan had all day to look around for a target, and you just can't give those wide receivers that much time to get open. And Hill doing a good job settling down in that soft spot in the zone and just showing the quarterback his numbers, and Morgan able to deliver an accurate pass.
Malachi Brown the back, and they will give it to Malachi here on first down and 10. Brown running in between the tackles again. In on that tackle is Felazor. They'll bring up a second down for Shepherd.
And the first time we've seen Fisher check into the game, we thought he may not be available so far, having that heavy brace on his right leg. We know he had some difficulty with his mobility last week on a couple of those plays where he was that kickout block, was a little bit late to the party and allowing those Bloomsburg defenders to get into the backfield, but that time did a good job of leading the way for Malachi Brown.
Second down and 7 for the Rams. Malachi up the middle. Brown has a huge hole, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Shepherd. Malachi Brown from 17 yards out scores 6 for the Rams, and it's now 13-0 Shepherd with 7:09 to go in this first half.
Brown, good run, but the guy who stole the show on that play, big right guard Ty Lucas, pulling around, working up to that second level. Not often that you see a guy of his size, 6'2", 305, and I think they might be underselling him a little bit on that 305. Did a good job climbing up to those linebackers. Malachi Brown showing that patience, showing that maturation this season. Did a good job of just allowing that big man to do the dirty work up front, and Brown able to punch it in.
James Bozick's extra point is good. It is Shepherd 14, East Stroudsburg nothing, 7:09 to go in the first half. We'll take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
We welcome you back here to Rams Stadium, Monty Cater Field. Nick Verzolini alongside me. Travis Smith as the Rams get on the board. Travis, they take advantage of the fumble and run it in from 17 yards out. Our scoring drives are brought to you by Paul Espinoza for State Senate, an effective fiscally conservative voice for the 16th District. And Shepherd, all of a sudden, with that 14-0 lead, it was a 0-0 game for a very long time. They get the touchdown, and then East Stroudsburg on that next drive gives it right back after about 2 plays.
Again, East Stroudsburg, they have had several opportunities to get something on the board, but just a couple misfires by McKee. And like you mentioned, coming into today's game, completing 76% of his passes, but has had no such luck today versus this speedy and smart Rams defensive unit.
A lot going on here between the Shepherd Rams and the East Stroudsburg Warriors. I guess there was a big hit on the Shepherd side. I couldn't really see it from our angle, but
that was Gio de Tolbert got tangled up a little bit and got the home fans fired up, and Tolbert was lucky not to come away with a penalty on that play. But this Rams special teams unit, they have been keyed up, playing great football all year long, and want to keep this momentum rolling. East Stroudsburg has fallen behind quickly. Let's see if they can get things back on track. Like we mentioned, not having their fullback available to them statistically doesn't give them a lot as far as carries or catches out of the backfield, but a big part of their running game, as he does a good job of leading the way for those running backs, but not going to have him available, looks like, for the rest of the day.
They'll run the ball, or great fake from McKee, and McKee has it in space and is getting great blocking from his wide receivers. McKee down the sideline, out of bounds inside the 40-yard line. And again, he's fired up, but a flag at around the 40 may bring this play back.
You want to talk about a great fake? I'm watching Lewis run down. I'm like, oh man, he's going to score on that play. And I'm like, what's the Nick talking about? A great fake. It's obvious that Lewis had the ball.
Look, Travis, you've been doing it like me. You know,
I've been on the fake.
As somebody that played D end and always got told, you have quarterback. I got my eyes on that keeper.
There you go. Got to be disciplined. Got to read your keys. I didn't read my keys.
Well, hey, maybe you're like the linebacker. You got running back.
That's what it is.
I guess the D tackle maybe.
But all for naught.
Yeah, I mean that seemed like a big play that East Stroudsburg was going to maybe build some momentum off of, and again, McKee hasn't really been on his A game throwing the football. I was going to say to you before that fumble, I believe he came in, over 70%.
Yeah, 76%, yeah.
It doesn't look like a guy that's been over 76% today.
And what you want to do is, if you have a quarterback and he's kind of struggling a little bit, maybe you give him some run plays like they just did to get him settled down, get some confidence, just trying to get him into the rhythm of the game. But, again, East Stroudsburg will make a good play, and then there's a miscue or there's a misfire that kind of negates that momentum that they were able to get. And right now it's snowballing against East Stroudsburg, and they were coming in riding high, like we mentioned, a 4-game win streak coming into today's game, feeling confident about their chances of being able to knock off the Rams. But that's why they play the game, and this Rams team, they've shown they've got grit. They've been able to battle through adversity throughout this season, and so far they have certainly answered the challenge with a 14-point lead here with 6:19 left in the second quarter.
So first down and 10 from the 31-yard line. There was another delay there, but East Stroudsburg has it. 20 seconds on the play clock. McKee hands it off this time. Lewis taking it for positive yardage out to about the 36. Jack Baxter, the first one there for the Rams.
Lewis just did a good job of holding onto the ball because it looked like Baxter had his entire arm in between him and the football. They were just sitting there in a bear hug trying to get that football away.
Yeah, usually if Baxter gets to you, you're not going too far, but Lewis did a good job of holding on to that ball, like you said, and running hard. Another thing that's been interesting today, Kevin Kauser has moved to the inside on the D-line. At least he is on this formation. You see him head up on the guard or center there, kind of shading between both guys. But here's the run play up the middle, and it doesn't go too far. So Shepherd clearly trying to use that speed against this big offensive line of East Stroudsburg to their advantage. You know, can they get those quick jumps off the line of scrimmage?
And moving Kauser inside, what that opens up for you is that you can use a lot of stunts, you can use a lot of blitzes, so that gives you a little bit of versatility. And again, you probably can't match up size and strength versus this East Stroudsburg offensive front. So you use what you do have. You use your speed and your athleticism, and the Rams have done well with that this game.
3rd down and 1. McKee again on the option play, throws a stiff arm. McKee has the first down before he's knocked out of bounds by Christian McDowell. Dwayne Grantham over there as well. He's pointing to the scoreboard to let him know. It's 14-0. 4:29 to go.
There you go. You don't want to get him caught up in any type of penalty or anything, so that's something you are going to tell your players. Hey, look at that scoreboard, especially if you're in front.
McKee under pressure, hit as he throws, and it should have been intercepted by the Rams, but nobody was able to get to it.
And Mujahid Johnson lowered the boom that time on McKee. McKee slow to get up, but able to shake it off and get back to the line of scrimmage. And again, we've seen this Rams defense just continue to improve throughout the course of the year. Early on, they had difficulty getting to the quarterback and getting those sacks, but sometimes necessity is the mother of invention. So when you need to get to the quarterback, they've been creative in how they've used it. We've even seen them use a 3-3 stack look from time to time to try to open up multiple blitz packages. They've gone back to their traditional 4-man front, but they've used stunts. We've talked about how moving Muley to that outside defensive end spot has kind of opened some things up as well. So just a variety of looks. And that time you had Mujahid Johnson, a defensive back, coming in off the edge and just lowering a big shot on McKee.
Yeah, they've made up for losing two of the best pass rushers really in program history, and Kyle Smith as well as Malik Holloway. And this time McKee doesn't go too far, and that's a late hit. That's going to be a penalty on Shepherd. Is coming in there late for the Rams. Looked to be Jalen Edwards, and that is a big mistake.
Again, you're playing good defense. You're setting yourself up in a position to get the ball back with an opportunity to score with time running low in the second quarter. And again, just a little bit overzealous and trying to get a shot on the quarterback. You know those referees are going to be paying particular attention to the quarterback nowadays, and you just can't give them a fresh set of downs. Again, this East Stroudsburg offense, they've been putting up over 35 points per game. You don't want to give them an opportunity to get things rolling on the offensive side of the ball.
Well, now McKee is coming out of the game. Tobias is in at quarterback.
He's taken a couple hard shots these past couple of plays.
It almost looks like he's going to come right back in, but could have been that his helmet potentially came off. I didn't see it come off. So Tobias now going to throw and look over the middle and fire a dart into Stort into tight coverage.
Mujahid Johnson was right there on the spot. Looked like he had a chance to make a play on the ball. But Dawson Stewart, the 6'4", 250-pound grad student, was a former quarterback, converted to tight end, didn't play all last year due to injury, but comes back this year, had a big game last week versus Shippensburg, 2 catches, 30 yards, 1 touchdown.
And I believe another penalty against Shepherd, so that will add yardage on to the end of this one. But how about Tobias coming in, his first play in, and he slings it over the middle for probably the best pass play we've seen on the day for East Stroudsburg. The penalty will add to it as well, and the Warriors are in the red zone.
The redshirt junior stepping up and coming into today's game. He's only been in 4 games so far this year. This will mark his 5th, but completing 68% of his passes, has 5 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Also will run the ball if necessary.
Tobias rolling to the left, looks toward the near sideline and incomplete. Intended for either Cook or potentially Siggins, but nobody really able to haul that one in.
They wanted to get Tobias out of the pocket on that play, but Grantham giving a lot of pressure off the edge made him stop short and then just try to muscle it into the outside. It looked like he was kind of caught in between thoughts. He had an out and a comeback on the sideline. It looked like he split the difference on that pass attempt and throwing the ball harmlessly into the turf.
So 2nd and 7, 3:35 to go in this first half. Tobias now rolling. Great screen pass set up for Lewis.
And
Lewis can walk in for 6. Touchdown, East Stroudsburg. Excellent execution from the Warriors offense on that screen play. And it is 14-6 here. Shepherd still on top with 3:29 to go in this first half.
Just beautiful play design that time. And again, that Rams defense, if you're going to catch them in something, it's usually going to be them being overly aggressive. And a lot of times teams will try to use misdirection, and it's a little bit too slow. But on that play, just that motion, that orbit motion over to the short side of the field, the Rams defense overreacted, then the quarterback came back to the wide receiver, was able to leak out the backside, and great blocks downfield. And kicker kicks a knuckleball through, and that's
It's good.
It's good. It'll work. Counts just the same, but awesome play that time by East Stroudsburg, and you can see why this offense has been able to put up the points that they have, and again, showing the depth that they have available to them at quarterback when Tobias, the backup quarterback, comes in and marches them right down the field.
Yep, extra point is good. 14-7, 3:29 to go in the first half. Let's take another 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams Football on TV 10.
Finally, West Virginia is moving in the right direction. As your West Virginia Senate President, Craig Blair has passed the most conservative legislative agenda in the nation. He has fought for our values like banning elective abortions, protecting our Second Amendment rights, and prevented boys from playing in girls' sports. Senator Craig Blair championed the largest tax cut in the history of our state. Craig Blair, a strong conservative leader. Promises made, promises kept. This election, vote for Republican Craig Blair for State Senate. Paid for by the Committee to Re-elect Craig Blair.
Go back and watch that one on YouTube so I can write that down.
We welcome you back here to Ram Stadium. Our score, Shepherd 14, East Stroudsburg 7, 3:29 to go in this first half. The Warriors will kick it deep to the Rams, and going back and fielding it is Christian McDowell inside the 5-yard line. McDowell with some room. He gets across the 30 and knocked out by the kicker. The kicker there making the play for East Stroudsburg and Devin Bartholomew. And McDowell with a good return, though, setting up this Shepherd offense. East Stroudsburg getting into the end zone. We also have a flag back here at around the 21-yard line, so that might bring back the return anyway. But scoring drive there for East Stroudsburg. They get on the board on the screen pass to Lewis. A pass from Tobias. Our scoring drives are brought to you by Paul Espinoza for State Senate, an effective fiscally conservative voice for the 16th District.
So it's going to be a personal foul on both teams. It's going to offset. 3 personal fouls on the play. Wow. Everybody's getting in on the action.
So there's 3. Whoever got 2 should get the penalty, right?
I don't think that's how it works.
It would make sense, though, to send somebody.
So what's all the fuss about? The ball doesn't even move. I'm like, can we just move on and get back to the action? If it's not going to affect anything, I'm like, do y'all really need to have that long a discussion about it? Let's just move on.
I don't know. Maybe they had to find out how many personal fouls were out there or on what team. I don't know.
We live in the now. You're talking about old stuff.
1st and 10 here from the 40. Malachi Brown gets the carry, and Brown has a big hole. Malachi still going, tackled on the play into East Stroudsburg territory. Saving potentially a touchdown was Felazor, and it's a big run for Malachi Brown. First down for the Rams.
Cam Dorner doing a good job getting downfield, getting those blocks. A lot of times when you're getting those big run plays, it's because your wide receivers are going the extra mile to get that block downfield, and that time Dorner fit the bill, getting down there, opening up a lane for his running back.
This time, not much room on the carry for Shepherd.
Malachi Brown running behind his big left guard on the play, Wyatt Pelicano, the 6'2", 315-pound junior. If you're going to run behind somebody, he's certainly one that you want to do it.
Yeah, it's a good offensive line for Shepherd. Maybe not quite to the standard that they've been in the past in terms of some years they would give up like 4 sacks in a season. But still a really good group. Here's Jeremiah Taylor on the reception, taking it up to about the 30-yard line. And again, East Stroudsburg flying to the football. It will move the chains, though, for a first down. Just over 2 minutes to go in this first half. Shepherd gets the ball to start the second half. And Rams moving the football.
Looked like that was a matchup that the Rams are trying to exploit. They're going after Everett Dingle, the redshirt freshman, playing that nickel corner. You got Taylor matched up on him. That certainly seems to be a matchup in favor of the Rams offense.
And they're looking this time for Taylor in the end zone, and it's incomplete through his hands. Couldn't haul it in. Man, Shepherd has had a few here today where they've had some deep balls either go through the hands or just be out of the reach of the receiver, and Taylor's had a few where he couldn't quite get his feet in. Just something off about those plays for Shepherd today.
And that time Taylor was just doing too much with his hands. There was no handbrake on the coverage, and it looks like Taylor gave him a little bit of a chuck there at the end. Not enough to draw the penalty, but what it did do was kind of occupy his hands where he wasn't able to get them into position to catch that ball cleanly.
2nd and 10, and Taylor falls down. A flag comes flying in. Ty Lucas's helmet's off, so I would presume illegal hands to the face here on the East Stroudsburg side.
That's incomplete. There is a flag.
Taylor slipped on the route. Could have been dangerous, but it is going to be a penalty on East Stroudsburg. So that
the Rams is trying to come back with a counterpunch. They beat them deep on the previous play, so you know that defense is going to be sagging off a little bit. So you come back with a comeback route to the sidelines. It's a short side of the field, so it's really not going to be that much of an emphasis on the quarterback just throwing a rocket out there to the sidelines. And Taylor not able to get that footing correct. And again, he's just been a little bit off, and not that we're picking on him, it's just unusual because he's just had a tremendous season this year for the Rams, but the penalty is still going to give them a first down.
Yeah. And penalties definitely hurting both teams on the last two drives. Shepherd had a few penalties that extended the ESU drive, and now East Stroudsburg having penalties to extend the Shepherd drive. Here's a pass, and what a catch from Barry Hill in the end zone. Touchdown, Shepherd. Barry Hill is only 5'9", 5'10". You wouldn't know it on that play. Almost went up like Calvin Johnson in the end zone for 6, and it is 20-7. Shepherd with 1:28 to go before halftime. That's your nominee for the good hands catch of the game.
There you go. I write that one down with the quickness. He certainly earned it. Like you mentioned, only 5'9", but using every inch of it and a whole lot of hops to go up and get that ball and bring it in. Similar to a play that they tried early on where Hill had to tip the ball to avoid the interception that time, able to make it pay, pulling down that catch for a touchdown and extending this Rams lead back out to 14.
Bozik's extra point is good. It is Shepherd 21, East Stroudsburg 7, 1:28 to go in the first half. We will take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
The challenges of tomorrow need a leader of character. A West Point graduate, a retired active duty Army veteran with 27 years of uniformed service, a battle-tested leader who knows what it means to serve. We need conservative Mac Warner. As a veteran, family man, and lifelong servant leader, Mac has the values and experience to fight for our children, our families, and our future. Mac Warner is ready to serve.
Shepherd 21, East Stroudsburg 7 as we get back to the action here. James Bozik to kick it away for the Rams. Back deep again for East Stroudsburg. Peterson as well as Cook here at Ram Stadium in Shepherdstown, West Virginia. The kick from Bozik. Booted away. Cook will field it around the 4-yard line, and Cook has a lane if he can get there. Cook across the 30, and a good job by the Rams special teams unit to make up for that lane and make the tackle there. Tolbert in on that one. First down and 10 for East Stroudsburg, and we've talked a little bit about this quarterback play and how they've had so many different guys do it, 3 different guys, and all of them have been productive. It starts, I think, with the head coach. Jimmy Terwilliger was the man that held the Division II touchdown record that Tyson Bajan broke, last year against ESU, at ESU. So quarterback play carries over from your head coach. Doesn't get much better than that in terms of a quarterback coach. So Tobias will remain the quarterback. And Tobias looks over the middle and making it, incomplete on a diving attempt from ESU. Nearly making a great grab, though, was Evan Roach. Miles Greer in coverage.
And Tobias in the pocket, very patient, delivering a accurate pass over the middle, hit the wide receiver right in his chest. It was a difficult catch, but certainly a catchable attempt.
2nd down and 10 for Aaron Tobias. No backs in the backfield. Tobias again firing it over the middle. Big hit and a good catch by Cook. Dwayne Grantham laying the boom, but a penalty in the backfield again.
The quarterback pleading with his offensive lineman. It's going to be a hold. Looks like it's going to be on 76, Kyler Wustner. And Tobias is letting his offensive lineman know, I'm going to get the ball away quickly. You don't have to use your hands to try to protect it. And you're going against everything offensive lineman has been brought up to believe. He's out there fighting for every second he can for his quarterback. Quarterback letting him know, hey, I got this. The ball's going to be coming out quick. So you don't need to go the extra mile. Just do your job. And again, East Stroudsburg struggling with these penalties. Needed some positive yards on that play and kind of digging themselves a hole.
Yes, it's been tough for the Warriors. They've missed some plays here and there, had some penalties, but overall still have a shot in this one, but they would like a score here before halftime. 2nd and long. Tobias slips and is brought down by Jack Baxter and Kevin Kauser.
Kauser has just been so versatile. He sacrificed a big part of his game, was a very good linebacker last year in a limited role for the Rams defense, but just the way the roster was able to shake out this year, got put up on that defensive line, so he's certainly giving up a lot of size. And we've talked about Baxter. He's had a whale of a game so far. He's been living in the East Stroudsburg backfield. So now Stroudsburg has a decision to make. They certainly don't want to give the ball back to Shepherd. Shepherd still has 2 timeouts left. There's still over a minute left in the action. So
they're getting the ball back, presuming they can get a stop.
Yeah.
But do you run it to try to burn that timeout? Yeah. Probably, I would think here, considering it's going to be 3rd and forever. Or it might still only be 2nd down because of the penalty.
Right now it's 2nd and 20 to go on the scoreboard.
Because I'm not certain if the scoreboard's right. But 1:05 here left, so 2nd and 25. That's what we believe it is. But yeah, I think you probably run it, trying to get them to burn those final 2 timeouts, and then.
So run it, see what you can do. Maybe try to make a play for 3rd down if you're able to get some positive yards. But again, East Stroudsburg just difficult getting into a rhythm. Already on to their backup quarterback, who's come in and given them a little bit of stability at their quarterback position. But we knew early on those missed opportunities by the East Stroudsburg offense, they were huge. You're not going to have many good looks against this Shepherd defense, and the Warriors not able to take advantage of it. You got to be efficient on offense if you want to come away with a win versus this Shepherd Rams football team.
So 2nd and 25 from the 16. Tobias is in the gun with no backs in the backfield. Tobias steps up, looks downfield, throws complete.
Big hit that time by Greer.
Another big hit from East Stroudsburg. Hauling it in that time was Siggins. And Shepherd burns that timeout. Let's take a 30-second break as well. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
There's nothing quite like the Honda Accord Hybrid and the CR-V Hybrid when it comes to exhilarating efficiency. With hybrid technology and thrilling capability, these vehicles deliver an electrifying performance on every drive. But what truly makes these hybrids special is the unwavering determination that inspires everything we do. Redefine your driving experience with Honda, KBB.com's best value brand of 2023.
CMA's Honda of Winchester, 3985 Valley Pike. CMA's moving lives forward.
Based on 2023 brand image awards from Kelly Blue Book. Visit KBB.com for more information.
So it appears the East Stroudsburg punt unit is on. So it was third down on that previous play. So it will be 4th and 13, and East Stroudsburg will punt. The scoreboard showing 3rd and 13, but that is incorrect. Warriors looking to punt it here.
And that was Siggins. And for Siggins, that was only his first catch of the game, and he's one of their bigger weapons that they like to use in the passing game for East Stroudsburg. Coming into today's game, 25 catches for 362 yards and 5 touchdowns. Has the 6'3", 185-pound junior, but the Rams defense has done a good job of keeping him from being a big role in today's game.
Well, they missed him, too, on a touchdown. I mean, that was one of those big plays that we talked about. He was wide open, but overthrown. And 4th down and 13 here from the 30-yard line, and Miles Greer standing back at the 32. It's a fair catch, singled from Greer at the 31, and that's where Shepherd will take over. So they have 1 timeout remaining, I believe, 51 seconds. Yes, 1 timeout remaining, 51 seconds. Up by 14, and I believe Shepherd also gets the ball to start the second half. So good opportunity here for the Rams to really all of a sudden just pull away in this one, and what we anticipated would be a competitive football game between Shepherd and East Stroudsburg, but East Stroudsburg just hasn't really had it in this first half.
Again, just misfires on the offensive side of the ball, and you have to be efficient. You can't waste opportunities because you figure it's only going to be a matter of time for this Rams offense to get on track.
Seth Morgan is sacked.
Pressure up front.
Coming up with the sack is Ashton Blose, but we do have a penalty at the 50-yard line.
That time, big push up front, and this Rams O-line has done a good job of giving Morgan a clean pocket. And that time, just East Stroudsburg able to collapse the pocket, get to the backfield, bring him down for a sack, but that's usually in the place where you're going to get a pass interference call.
Yeah, or legal contact, one of the two. Possibly a holding even as well.
You can't even bend over to pick it up.
So, 36 seconds left. We do have a penalty. The clock is stopped. It's 21-7 Shepherd. East Stroudsburg letting them know their thoughts on these penalties. And Shepherd will again move the football down the field. That sack, maybe it would have ended the drive pretty much because it would have put you way behind the chains with only a little bit of time left. But now they are actually going to add 6 seconds to the game clock as well. Now 42 seconds and a 14-point lead and a first down for the Rams. So the penalties are really burning the Warriors. Be interested to see the exact numbers on that at halftime. But Morgan off his back foot throws complete to Malachi Brown underneath, and he doesn't get out of bounds.
Get out of bounds. You got to have situational awareness. You know it's close. You don't want to burn a timeout if you don't have to. The defense was bearing down on you. There was really nothing that you could do to the inside. Get your butt out of bounds. Stop that clock.
Shepherd burns that timeout. Let's take a 30-second break as well. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Have you heard the news? Bechtel Jewelers is going out of business. Hi, I'm Lori, and I want to thank our cherished customers for years of friendship. We are liquidating our entire inventory with savings up to 70%. Come visit us in Inwood now during our Diamond Stud Blowout, where for a limited time, our diamond studs are up to 50% off. Don't miss your chance to get the diamonds of your dreams.
We welcome you back here to Ram Stadium. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith. 32 seconds to go before halftime. And Shepherd has it here with a chance to extend its lead, Travis.
And again, there's no rush on the offensive side of the ball for Shepherd. They've been able to do the things that they like to do. They still have a timeout, I believe, in their back pocket. Out of timeouts. Okay, so maybe a little bit of sense of urgency here with 30 seconds left, but don't want to risk it.
Morgan throws incomplete.
That would have been a tough catch to bring in, but we've certainly seen, well, that was a tough catch he made for that touchdown. So certainly within his repertoire to bring in a pass like that, but Hill not able to wrangle that last pass attempt. And Morgan just doing a good job. He was kind of backpedaling when he threw that pass. But again, he's a much different quarterback when he has access to throw the ball over the middle of the field. It kind of opens up his whole game. If you just have him just throwing passes to the sideline, that's not what he's good at. When you let him work the middle of the field, it really shows why he's a talented quarterback.
3rd down and 5. Morgan under pressure, throws underneath, complete to Malachi Brown, middle of the field. Brown still going. Almost looked like his knee was going to be down, but he never was, and now the Rams have to go up on the ball and spike it.
Well, there may have been a problem with the clock. He picked up the 1st down, so there should have been a clock stopping, but this is essentially
under 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's going to be essentially a timeout for the Rams as the referees, again, stop play to talk to each other.
Well, the clock has had some issues today.
Yes, definitely.
On the Rams side, remember, we lost 4 seconds earlier, Travis.
Yeah, there you go.
That.
There we go.
And now we should have the clock moving to time, but not really sure what is going on now, as we haven't had an official movement. These Stroudsburg fans are yelling start the clock, but they don't realize that Shepherd lost time on the clock. So...
And they're saying the same thing that I said. This is pretty much a free timeout for the Rams offense.
Yes, but also they didn't stop it on the 1st down, so it's kind of a little bit of both. But hey, 19 seconds left. Now the clock will roll. Shepherd takes the snap. They don't have to spike it anymore. And Morgan throws complete and heading out of bounds, but a flag coming in is Barry Hill on the catch. These officials are certainly getting their paychecks worth today.
They're earning it.
They're earning them.
An eligible man downfield for Shepherd.
So that'll back up the Rams. 10 seconds left.
Not too often you see that from this Rams ball club, and especially on just a straight drop pass play.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
Like sometimes, like
not really an RPO or anything like that.
RPO, or sometimes maybe a screen. Maybe they're a little bit too quick to get out of the gate, but an odd penalty.
Yeah, I didn't see who was called on, but maybe they just wanted to run a route.
Coach, I'm open.
1st down and 10. 10 seconds. Morgan under some heat. Throws off his back foot again. Completes to Malachi, who spins out of a tackle. Ball came out, and Shepherd recovered, but that'll be the final play of the half. Morgan a little slow to get up as he was hit on that play, but he'll walk to the locker room. And our score here at halftime, Shepherd 21, East Stroudsburg 7. And we will take a 2-minute break. On the other side of this break, we'll have the Mansion Freddie Law Firm halftime show. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
This is Eric at Hagerstown Ford. Over the last decade, the way we buy things have evolved. Now, you get on your phone, click Want It, and it shows up at your front door. At Hagerstown Ford, it is that convenient. We've changed the car buying experience on the I-81 corridor forever. And with a return policy better than Walmart, there's absolutely no reason to buy a new or used car, truck, or SUV anywhere else. Just like Amazon, Hagerstown Ford will deliver the vehicle to you, where you are, and on your time. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. Why waste your time at a car dealership playing the dumb back-and-forth games? Besides, we hate it more than you do. I assure you, no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. will beat our price. No dealership from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania to Baltimore, Maryland will beat our price. And no other dealership will allow you to return it if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely provides the best experience at the best price. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience. Click on the vehicle you want and get your new ride delivered to you at no risk.
See dealer for details.
We're at the half. Time for a scoring recap, stats and analysis, scores from around the PSAC and Super Region 1, the Division 1 Top 25, and the latest on the West Virginia University Mountaineers and Marshall University Thundering Herd. Let's get it started as we go back to the field and rejoin our TV 10 broadcast team.
We welcome you back here to Ram Stadium at Monty Cater Field. And let's get into our halftime show brought to you by the Mansion Freddie Law Firm in Martinsburg, where it's about seeking justice for you. Go to wvjusticelawyers.com. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith. And Travis, what were your thoughts on that first half? A lot of penalties, it looked like, especially on the East Stroudsburg side. Shepherd does some good things offensively, gets some touchdowns up on the board, and they lead here at the half 21-7.
Well, it's just a question of opportunities. It's an issue and opportunity. East Stroudsburg had several opportunities to put points on the board in the first half. They just weren't able to connect on that. It's kind of led to a quarterback change where they were able to manufacture some success, but the Rams offense able to get on track, again, doing it with a balance of run and pass and using that play-action pass. And I think something that's really helped out the Rams offense today is getting Seth Morgan on the move outside the pocket. He's not a mobile quarterback in terms of he's going to pull it down and run it, although he has shown that he has that ability if he has to, but he's just more comfortable outside of the pocket because he does a good job of keeping his eyes down the field and taking those check down passes. He's also much better quarterback when he's able to work the middle of the field. That's also been incorporated into today's game plan. You're starting to see what this Rams offense is capable of, and you can see the frustration is beginning to mount on that East Stroudsburg sideline, because you figure a lot of these PSAC teams are probably, they've always had a target on the Rams' back since they've entered the conference. And this year was probably a year where most of the PSAC teams was like, finally, we have a chance to get them. And East Stroudsburg comes into today's game, 4-game win streak, 8-1 season. They see the Rams coming off of an unusual upset versus Bloomsburg, and East Stroudsburg's probably thinking to themselves, all right, this is the year that we finally take down Rams, and has not been the case. The Rams are still the Rams. The standard has remained the standard, and this Rams football team is going out there and just playing good football again in all three phases of the game. This Rams team is showing what they're capable of. In East Stroudsburg, you can see the talent. They flash plays here and there. They just haven't been able to string anything together and have any type of consistent production on the offensive side of the ball, and you just can't leave your defense out there all day, because eventually the Rams will piece something together. They have too many athletes. They're going to be able to make plays. So right now East Stroudsburg's offense is just, they're going to have to answer the bell if they're going to have a chance to get back into this ball game.
Yeah, I think the chance is still there with it only being 21-7, but first drive of the second half, they're going to have to come out, get that stop, and then see if they can build some momentum offensively. We haven't really had any momentum with the offense. We don't have any stats in front of us currently, but we'll get some to you hopefully later on in this halftime show. But let's go ahead and take a 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, we will hear from Colin McLaughlin back in the studio. He'll have a halftime scoreboard update for you. Our score here at the half, Shepherd 21, East Stroudsburg 7. This is the Mansion Freddie Law Firm halftime show, and Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
One of the questions lawyers get asked the most is, what is my case worth?
I'm Steven Skinner, and this is my brother Andrew with Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers.
The truth is, it's very difficult for a lawyer to pinpoint a number because every case is different.
We get to know each situation and we'll give you an idea of what your case is worth and why.
The sooner we get involved, the better we can do getting you the compensation you deserve.
Google Skinner Lawyers or go to skinnerwins.com. We'll treat you like family.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
The Honda Ridgeline, Passport, and Pilot are in a league of their own when it comes to rugged capability. Their relentless power and versatility make these vehicles the ultimate challengers for exhilarating adventures and formidable terrain. But it's not just performance that makes these cars special. It's the unwavering determination that inspires everything we do. That's why we're KBB.com's best value brand of 2023.
CMA's Honda of Winchester, 3985 Valley Pike. CMA's moving lives forward.
Available all-wheel drive on Pilot based on 2023 brand image awards from Kelly Blue Book. Visit kbb.com for more information.
At Dutch Miller Automotive, we've grown quite a bit over the last 60 years, but our core principles remain the same. We believe in treating our customers and our team members like friends and family, and we see it as our obligation to give back to all the communities we are so fortunate to do business in. In just West Virginia alone, we've grown from one location on the west end of Huntington to 10 rooftops employing more than 500 Mountaineers. Check out the inventory from all of our stores at DutchMillerAuto.com. Dutch Miller Automotive Group, West Virginia proud.
Welcome into the halftime scoreboard show on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. At the half between Shepherd and East Stroudsburg, the Rams lead 21-7. Let's now take a look around the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Halftime between IUP and Clarion. Indiana of BA leads 20-14. Slippery Rock up at halftime 28-10 over Edinburgh. Cal U leads Gannon 14-3 at the half as well. Also at halftime, it is Millersville leading Bloomsburg 24-16. Start of quarter number 3 underway. Kutztown leading 13-10 over Westchester as Westchester just scored, tacked on the extra point as well. And a quick update here to that last game, as that one in the second quarter as it kicked off at 1 o'clock. Lockhaven has just scored, making it 7-0 Lockhaven over Shippensburg. And then the last game in the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference, that being Seton Hill at Mercyhurst in Erie, PA, will kick off at 2 o'clock. So that one just under half an hour away. But that's your scores from around the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference here, as we now take a look at some NCAA Division I scores. Top 25 action. 13 seconds to go in quarter number 2. It is Ohio State, number 1 in the country, only up by 1 against Rutgers on the road at 7-6. Rutgers with the ball, first and goal on Ohio State's 2-yard line, though. So it looks like Rutgers, the Scarlet Knights, might take the lead here soon. 5 seconds to go in the second quarter. It's number 7, Texas, leading number 23, Kansas State, 17-7. 1:44 to go in the second quarter. It's number 10, Ole Miss, 20, Texas A&M, 14. At halftime, it's Clemson right now dominating number 15, Notre Dame, 24-9. Minute 30 to go in quarter number 2. It's number 17, Tennessee, dominating UConn 35-3. Kicking off at 2 p.m., it's number 18, Utah at Arizona State. Number 25, Air Force at Army at 2:30. Number 2, Georgia hosts number 12, Missouri at 3:30 p.m. Also at 3:30, it's Pittsburgh hosting number 4, Florida State. Number 22, Oklahoma State hosts number 9, Oklahoma. Maryland hosts number 11, Penn State. Louisville, 13th in the land, takes on Virginia Tech at 3:32. East Carolina hosts number 24, Tulane. California's at number 6, Oregon. That kicking off at 5:30. At 7 p.m., it's number 21, Kansas at Iowa State. Purdue at number 3, Michigan. Number 5, Washington at number 20, USC at 7:45. It's number 14, LSU at number 8, Alabama. Then at 10 o'clock tonight, it's number 16, Oregon State at Colorado, and number 19, UCLA at Arizona. That wraps things up here for our Extra Point Halftime Scoreboard Show. Again, your score at the half, Shepherd 21, East Stroudsburg 7. We're going to take another 2-minute break and then send it back to Coach Monty Caterfield at Shepherd Ram Stadium for the second half.
We are the Skinner Brothers. Most folks only need a lawyer once or twice in their lives. And when they're injured or in an accident, most people don't know what to do. We get it. It can be overwhelming.
Nobody likes to be told you need a lawyer, but that's why we're here. We want to get you back to your normal life and help you recover.
So if you or loved one has been in an accident, give us a call. Let us figure out how we can get you compensation.
Reach us at SkinnerWins.com or Google Skinner Lawyers. We'll treat you like family.
Ollie's VIP North Side is the best spot to catch all your favorite teams. Join us Monday for dollar wings and Monday Night Football, Thursdays on the patio for the cornhole tourney, Friday night lights with happy hour specials, or Saturdays during or after the college games for steak night. Get a ribeye or New York steak for just $26.95. Ollie's has great food and drink menus too, along with 17 TVs to watch any game of your choice from anywhere at the bar or their outdoor patio and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP North Side. We'll see you for the game.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
After a car accident, what do you get when you call Mansion Ferretti?
You get more experience from a local law firm with over 115 years of combined service.
More respect from a team who treats clients like their own family.
And more fight, because we want you to get every dollar you deserve.
Experience, respect, results. If you've been injured, that's what you want in your lawyer.
And that's what you'll get when you call us. Car accident? Get more with Mansion Ferretti. 304-264-8505.
Football Foundation and College Football Hall of Fame.
We welcome you back here to Ram Stadium, and it's actually perfect timing. It's Coach Cater being honored currently. Again, they named the field after head coach Monty Cater, going into the College Football Hall of Fame of the class of 2023. Coach Cater, of course, had some great success here at Shepherd Travis. He helped lead the program to the national finalists as they were the runner-ups in the national championship in 2015, and he kind of set the stage for what's been the last few years where Shepherd's been back-to-back regional champions and making it to the semifinals, and Coach Cater did it for a long time and did a lot of great things here at Shepherd.
I mean, and he's just synonymous with Shepherd Rams football. It's been so long where he's just been that figurehead of this team, and again, like, they've had tremendous players throughout the year, but that one constant has been Coach Cater. And again, you just feel better seeing him around the field, and he's come back on as filling in as the interim athletic director this year. And it's always a good chance when you have a chance to honor a guy like that who's gone out there and done things the right way. Not only has he been a successful football coach, but as any person that works with young people, is like you just want to help them become better people even after their playing days are over. And that's something that he's been a success with on the field and off the field. So certainly an honor. Well-deserving for Coach Cater getting nominated into the 2023 College Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah, we talked about it before the game. You know, he's a guy that's very humble, you know, and if you ever had the chance to talk to him, just a great guy. So definitely like seeing this honor, and to have the field named after him here at Ram Stadium, definitely fitting. And he gets a good applause from the crowd, and excited to see him go into the College Football Hall of Fame here this year as well. But let's run down some stats here at the half in the ball game. The first half stats are brought to you by Larry DeMarco at Modern Realty Results. If you're looking for a home in the tri-state, they have you covered. We'll start with the Shepherd Rams. On the ground for Shepherd, Malachi Brown, 8 carries, 69 yards and a touchdown. Jordan Barnett, 5 carries, 27 yards. Seth Morgan, 14 of 23, 121 yards and 2 touchdowns. And in the receiving game as well for Shepherd, 4 catches for Barry Hill, 45 yards and a score. Malachi Brown, 4 catches, 37 yards. Jeremiah Taylor, 2 catches for 17 yards. And Brian Jester, 2 catches, 13 yards and a touchdown. Defensively for Shepherd, Jack Baxter, 6 tackles and a sack to lead the way at the half. Aguilar, 3 tackles. Miles Greer, 3 tackles. And Dwayne Grantham, 3 tackles as well. On the East Stroudsburg side, Tyreek Lewis, 7 carries, 33 yards. Charlie McKee, the quarterback, 8 carries, 17 yards. Passing the football, McKee was 2 for 8 for 13 yards. Very off day for him, coming in over 76% completion percentage. Aaron Tobias takes over and does pretty well. 3 of 5, 64 yards and a touchdown. Justin Cook, 2 catches, 13 yards. Dawson Stewart, 1 catch for 36 yards. Tyreek Lewis, the 14-yard touchdown reception on the screen pass. And John Siggins, a 14-yard reception as well. Defensively for East Stroudsburg, Felazor leads the way with 8 tackles. Scott with 4, Blackwell with 3, and Harris with 3. We talked about the penalties. Both teams have combined for 11 total penalties in that first half. 5 for East Stroudsburg, 6 for Shepherd. But it just feels like those East Stroudsburg ones have just came at bad times. And that's why it seems like they are struggling. You look at it, the total plays, Shepherd 230 yards on 37 plays. East Stroudsburg 32 plays for 129 yards. Time of possession pretty close between the two teams. Both teams have fumbled the ball. 20s for East Stroudsburg, once for Shepherd. Only one of those that recovered by the defense. Travis, anything really stand out to you on that first half?
Well, the one thing that jumps off the sheet to me is East Stroudsburg struggles on converting on third downs. Coming into today's game, they converted on 49% of their third down opportunities. Today, only 1 of 6. So you really have to take your hat off to that Rams defense. They have done a good job of getting off the field. You know that was something that was stressed coming into today's game because you know you have a good running football team. This is a team that averages nearly 200 yards a game on the ground, so you knew that you wanted one to stay out of third and short situations. The Rams have been able to do that, and not only that, they've been able to get them off the field on third down. So if you're looking for one thing for East Stroudsburg to try to improve on here in the second half, it's those third down conversions, and likely to see Tobias back at their quarterback position seems to give them a little bit more steadiness at the quarterback position. McKee just seemed rattled early on, and like you mentioned, just uncharacteristic for the young football player because he was coming in, completing over 76% of his passes, and he had a couple opportunities which seemed to be for certain touchdowns as long as the wide receiver didn't fall down, but it was just inaccurate throws, not able to make the most of those chances, and Tobias seems to be the guy that's going to get the nod here in the second half. And again, McKee took some big shots, and you never know how a young quarterback is going to respond to that, and East Stroudsburg not waiting to see how that turns out, went ahead and made the change, and again showing that depth that they have available to them at the quarterback position.
Let's take a 60-second break. On the other side of that break, we'll have the second half kickoff. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. We're back at 60.
We are the Skinner brothers. Most folks only need a lawyer once or twice in their lives. And when they're injured or in an accident, most people don't know what to do. We get it. It can be overwhelming.
Nobody likes to be told, you need a lawyer. But that's why we're here. We want to get you back to your normal life and help you recover.
So if you or loved one has been in an accident, give us a call. Let us figure out how we can get you compensation.
Reach us at SkinnerWins.com or Google Skinner Lawyers. We'll treat you like family.
At Dutch Miller Automotive, we've grown quite a bit over the last 60 years, but our core principles remain the same. We believe in treating our customers and our team members like friends and family, and we see it as our obligation to give back to all the communities we are so fortunate to do business in. In just West Virginia alone, we've grown from 1 location on the west end of Huntington to 10 rooftops employing more than 500 Mountaineers. Check out the inventory from all of our stores at DutchMillerAuto.com. Dutch Miller Automotive Group, West Virginia proud.
Welcome you back here to Monte Cater Field. Shepherd 21, East Stroudsburg 7 here as we begin this second half. Our second half kickoff is brought to you by Ollie's VIP Northside, the best local spot to catch sports or hang out with friends. Stop by 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. Ollie's VIP will see you for the game. So the Rams will get it to start this second half after East Stroudsburg got it to start the first half. And back deep for the Rams, Christian McDowell as well as Malachi Brown. Already leading by 14 here, Travis. This is typically, in the past, where Shepherd really puts the game away, pulls away from the opponent, and just puts a lot of pressure on the other team's offense. So it is essential, it feels like, for East Stroudsburg to get a stop on this drive.
And
not allow any points.
You talked about the tendency for Shepherd, and that's what they have been able to do so well over the past couple of years, is that they're able to get that lead out to a point and forces the opposing team to abandon their game plan. We know East Stroudsburg likes to run the ball, but if Shepherd is able to come out here on this first drive and put some more points on the board, it's really going to put pressure on East Stroudsburg. Do you try to stick with the run that's going to eat up a lot of time and really kind of work against yourself? Or are you going to try to do something that maybe you're not as comfortable doing, and that's going to a more of a strictly passing the ball, and then that's going to open up a whole other kettle of problems for that East Stroudsburg offense, because this Rams defense, very speedy, a lot of guys that can make plays on the ball in space, so you don't want to get into that type of game. Certainly don't want to try to get into a shootout, but East Stroudsburg, like you mentioned, a lot of stress on this defense early on to try to get a stop and get the ball back to their offense to try to chisel their way back into this game.
As we wait for the ball to be spotted here, 21-7. And
this has been a very, will be nice, methodical, deliberate refereeing crew today.
Yeah, again, not really certain what the delay was there, but 21-7 our score, and we get ready for the second half. Shepherd back deep to return this kick, and East Stroudsburg boots it away, and we are ready to begin this third quarter. Malachi Brown fields it on the kickoff return, and Brown runs into his own teammates, spinning off tacklers, and brought down at around the 26-yard or 21-yard line, excuse me, or 16-yard line.
Bartholomew, they have him listed at 5'8", 170 pounds. Not unless he has on a rib protector. I'm not buying that 170 pounds. He may have been 170 pounds as a freshman, but certainly not as a grad student, because he looks like a little tree stump out there. Good kicker, good on kickoffs, good punter. He's shown that he can
made
boom
a tackle.
it. Yeah, he made a tackle today. Big hit.
First down and 10, under 15 minutes to go in this third quarter. Here's Jordan Barnett on the carry, and Barnett stacked up on the play from the East Stroudsburg defense. Blackwell in on that one, as well as Felazor. And he'll bring up a second down and 7.
Good cut that time by Barnett just to find a little bit of space on that play. East Stroudsburg did a good job of jamming him up at the point of attack, and Barnett is showing his savvy at the running back position, able to find a little bit of space.
Rams throw incomplete to Jeremiah Taylor, who spins out of 2 tackles. Taylor still going out toward midfield before he's knocked out of bounds. Tackling has been an issue for East Stroudsburg today as well in space, not doing nearly as good of a job as that Bloomsburg defense did last week. They allowed that underneath stuff to happen, but they brought them down in space. Shepherd's been able to break off those tackles and do what it wants to do on these short passes.
And the difference is size. Bloomsburg had much bigger defensive backs able to go out there and make those tackles. The Rams have big physical wide receivers. You need to match that with size on the defensive side, and East Stroudsburg just don't have the bodies to make those kind of tackles in space.
Dorner making the catch there, and Dorner again initiating the contact on the outside. Looked like Crumpton brought him down on the play. He'll bring up second down for the Rams. Down to the 46-yard line, but Crumpton now struggling to get off the field, and he's down on the play at the 40-yard line. Looks like he might have cramped up.
Yeah, Jameer Crumpton, 5'9", 175 pounds, and again, you look at most of his defensive backs, most of them are in that range, 5'9", 180 pounds. Again, not very undersized, but there is a size advantage that is clearly in favor of those Rams wide receivers. And when you throw those short passes underneath, when you throw the hitches and the snags, that's what you're hoping for, because all that wide receiver really has to do is break that one tackle, and then they're off to the races. And that's something that has really helped the Rams passing game so far today, is that those Rams wide receivers, not so much yards after the catch, but yards after contact. A lot of times you'll hear that in reference to the running game, but today it's really looming large for that Rams passing game as those big physical wide receivers able to break that initial tackle and then make something happen after the catch with all that athleticism and speed that they have at their disposal.
So 2nd down and 4 for Shepherd, 13:26 to go in this third quarter. Rams on top 21-7. First drive of the second half for Shepherd. They're trying to extend that lead. So Rams in the pistol formation. Barnett remains the back. And a blitz coming from East Stroudsburg. A pass complete on that screen again to Jeremiah Taylor. And Taylor again picking up positive yardage, tackled on the play by Hambrick. And it will move the chains.
You're being generous. I don't know if you want to call that a tackle. Taylor kind of tripped over his carcass as he was running him over on that play. Again, you look at this. East Stroudsburg secondary, 5'8", 155, and Hambrick, 5'10", 175, Malachi Bowman. You look inside at the nickel corner, 5'11", 180. So not very big guys playing on the back end, and that's the difference from last week to this week, whereas Bloomsburg, they had some dudes in the secondary. Those are large defensive backs.
Barnett on this carry still going. Tough to bring down is Jordan Barnett. He takes it all the way inside the 20-yard line. It's another first down for the Rams. And Shepherd on the door of potentially extending this lead out to 28-7.
Barnett using that pressure step that time, pushing it up. You want to attack that line of scrimmage at the point of attack. You get up there, and it's not so much a jump cut. His feet didn't leave the ground. Just using that pressure step just to slide over a little bit and find that open lane and pick up a good gain.
Barnett gets the carry again, and it's a big hole. Barnett moving inside the 15-yard line before he is wrestled to the ground again. Sergey Felazor making that tackle, the inside linebacker who's been the leading tackler today for this Warriors football team. It's 2nd down for the Rams, 11:40 to go in this third quarter, and they continue to move the ball down the field against this East Stroudsburg defense. 2nd and 6.
And again, Barnett, you just see him just becoming more and more part of this Rams offense and just has been a very productive player for a Shepherd down the stretch.
They flip it to Jeremiah Taylor. Taylor, though, doesn't find much room. Tackled by the linebacker. Again, there he is. Felazor coming up to make that tackle. Him and Taylor kind of jarring at each other, and it will bring up 3rd down. Loss on the play, and 3rd and 8.
And the defender that made that play, didn't make the tackle, but made the play, was Makai Booker. The defensive end, 6'4", 225 pounds, came crashing in off the edge and really did a good job of forcing that ball carrier to cut it back inside where he had help.
Taylor, Hill, and Batten are the wide receivers. There's a pass out to a wide-open Brown in the flat. Brown takes it inside the 10, inside the 5, and should be able to make it 1st and goal, and it is 1st and goal, Shepherd.
Khalil Scott was on the coverage, and just a tough assignment to try to get Malachi Brown, who's just bolting out of the backfield, and Scott, had to make his read on the inside, and just that little bit of hesitation was enough for Brown to get a leverage to the outside and turn it up for a big gain. And Malachi Brown has made plays running the ball and catching it out of the backfield.
1st and goal from the 5-yard line. They'll give Jordan Barnett the football, and he might have lost one on the play. Good tackle there off the edge for East Stroudsburg. Couldn't quite see who that was on that play, but no gain on the play. 10:30 to go in this third quarter. Shepherd already on top, 21-7, and the Rams are driving in once again to try to extend the lead.
Over there on that right side of the defensive line for East Stroudsburg was Deshaun McCarthy, the 5th-year senior, 6'4", 265 pounds, one of the standouts on this Warriors defense.
Here's the Wildcat to Barnett. He's tripped up and brought down on the play. Looked like coming off the edge for East Stroudsburg. That was tough to say there. Makai Booker coming up and making that play. 9:50 to go. So a big 3rd down and goal for the Warriors defense, and the Shepherd Rams offense trying to extend the lead. Barnett is the back. They've been conservative down here so far running the football. Dorner is the wide receiver, and Morgan looks to throw. Fires incomplete. intended for Brenton Strange. Or, I'm sorry, Colby Strange. Brenton Strange is the NFL tight end for the Jaguars. But Colby Strange, a strange decision to go to Colby Strange when he hasn't caught a pass all season. But I thought Jester was open there on the route to the outside if Morgan would have waited about one more second.
There's a bit of a traffic jam right there. They would try to work a couple players and is trying to work some type of natural pick, and nobody was able to get clean.
The extra point is up and good. Or, I'm sorry, the field goal is up and good for Shepherd, as used to them scoring when they get down there. But 24-7 our score. So East Stroudsburg will take it. They get the stop, and with 9:29 to go in this third quarter, we'll take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna call my parents. Dad, come over. The brisket's done.
The Traeger Connected Experience. Everything you need for epic flavor, and then some.
Shop now and save at Orsini's today.
So Shepherd settles for a field goal, 24-7 our score, as the Rams do extend the lead, get down there. Looked like they were going to score there, Travis, and then, like I said, kind of a conservative decisions to run the football on back-to-back plays. Then an incomplete pass on third and goal sets up the field goal, but our scoring drives are brought to you by Paul Espinoza for State Senate, an effective fiscally conservative voice for the 16th District, as the Rams will kick it away. James Bozick to kick it deep. Peterson and Cook standing back deep for the Warriors, and it's a short kick fielded by Cook at around the 10-yard line. He's got a wall to the left side. He's got some room here, this near side. But Shepherd, again, does a pretty good job. I mean, still great field position for East Stroudsburg up around the 40-yard line, but when it looks like these lanes are there, they do a good job of kind of forcing the guy to take it all the way to that outside, giving them enough time to get over and make the tackle.
And again, it's just waves and waves and waves of athletes for this Rams special teams unit. And again, you might catch them out of position initially, but it's not going to last. So if you have that lane, you've got to hit it hard. You got to hit it right away, because they have shown that they're going to be able to make that adjustment on the fly and really rally to the football and make a good tackle. East Stroudsburg setting up good field position. We talked about the young fullback having to come into the game, so it looks like East Stroudsburg is going to, rinse and repeat and get back to their initial game plan, because, again, that's what this Rams team has been able to do for so many years, is that they're able to get out to such a lead that they make opposing teams abandon that game plan. So East Stroudsburg is going to fight against the grain, stick with what they wanted to do initially, and see if they have some success with their first drive here in the third quarter.
Yeah, even though they didn't get a touchdown, Shepherd took nearly 6 minutes off that clock. So it was a long drive. They still got some points out of it. Really good drive to start the second half, even though they don't get the touchdown. I think Stort is going to come in and be the fullback here instead of the backup. So they go to the tight end in the backfield here on first down and 10 in the I formation. Tobias toss play out to Mills. Mills gets some solid blocks. Doesn't find too much room, though. Harold O'Neal coming over to make that stop for the Rams. Bring up second down. So, and down 24-7, East Stroudsburg trying to run the football out of the eye. I just feel like against the speed of this defense, you come out and you run the ball out of an I formation. It's pretty much known that you're going to run the ball when you line up like that.
So, and it has to be something where you're just hoping maybe the defense overreacts and you give that cutback lane to the running back. But the Rams, again, just so disciplined and so fast to get to the ball on the edge. It's very hard to get to the edge on this team.
So they run it out of the shotgun here, and it goes nowhere. Dwayne Grantham seemed to sniff that one out. It will bring up a third down for ESU, so now they're behind the sticks.
Again, this is a team that likes to run the ball. And when you're a team that runs the ball, it's just you're not built for big comebacks. You're not built to score points quickly, and right now the East Stroudsburg offense has to be operating with a sense of urgency because, like you mentioned, that Rams offense took a chunk of time off the clock in the third quarter, so a sense of urgency is necessary for East Stroudsburg if they want to get back into this game.
So Shepherd with the 3 down linemen set We'll see if they bring some extra pressure. They do not here on 3rd and long, and the pass is incomplete, and no flag on the Omari Terry coverage. Pass intended for John Siggins, and East Stroudsburg will be forced to punt on a 3-and-out on their first drive of the third quarter. Under 8 minutes to go in this third quarter. It is Shepherd 24, East Stroudsburg 7. Miles Greer back deep to return this punt.
Now, Terry did a good job getting his right hand on the ball to swat it away. What the East Stroudsburg fans are concerned about was what that left hand was doing, because he was spinning Siggins around as he was making a play on that ball. But if the referees don't call it, it's not a penalty, and Terry's always going to make the aggressive play.
A little bit of a high snap. Punt looks pretty good, though. Miles Greer will field it on the run. Greer has a lane. Greer up to the 40-yard line before he's brought down on the play by East Stroudsburg's Raymond Simmons IV.
Greer is just absolutely fearless back there fielding those punts.
You got to be.
Yeah, you have to be, but he's certainly showing that he has the toughness and the wherewithal. Caught that ball in stride, didn't break stride, continued down, ran past several defenders, and looked like he was about ready to break it before he was taken down at the 40. And the Rams offense once again setting up shop with very good field position off of quality special teams play. That's something we've grown accustomed to all year long. This Rams special teams unit has been absolutely shining all year long.
First down and 10 from the 40. Here's Malachi Brown, and Brown's going to lose. Well, he's going to probably get back to the line of scrimmage, but again, Felizor, yeah, just off that edge, doing a good job, or coming up from the linebacker spot, I should say. But what I was going to say, doing a good job of setting the edge was Deshaun McCarthy, number 18. I haven't really called his name today, but he's a fifth-year senior, productive defensive end on this.
And again,
they
just been shut down.
Yeah, but they haven't really done much.
Salazar, my goodness, just sifting through the traffic that time, found a lane and shot through the hole to tackle the ball carrier for no gain.
Play action, Morgan stepping up in the pocket, now looking to run. He's got a huge lane, will smartly slide down.
So Salazar was gaining ground quickly and not wanting to take that shot. And Morgan, he's taking his licks this year.
Took one at the end of the half.
Yes, he did.
But Seth has, stood in there, been very tough, and with all the pressure that was certainly on him coming in after Tyson Bagent leaves, probably one of the few places in the country where there's a lot of pressure on the Division II quarterback. But this is the type of town that loves football and loves D2 football. Doesn't matter to them. As here's the pass complete to Malachi Brown, and Brown fighting and getting close, and I think he has enough for the first down. So good job by Malachi, and again, Morgan taking what was there and completing the pass.
Just giving him that check down, and the Rams have used that route where the running back is either curled around the outside or more of an angle route where it looks like he's going to hit the flats hard and bends it back over the middle. And again, you see the East Stroudsburg, they're concerned about those wide receivers, that speed, so they're bailing out of there, and that's a lot of open space over the middle. Malachi Brown's been able to make them pay today.
Malachi Brown with another good hole from that Shepherd offensive line, and this is a group that looks like the last few weeks has done some things to get better. I mean, last week didn't give up a sack against Bloomsburg. Yes, there were some pressures throughout that game, but overall they held up pretty well, and again, they're opening up some good holes, and it started a few weeks ago when they had that perfect balance game against Westchester with the running game that they've now seem to be able to get when they have balanced play calling.
And that's what made the Bloomsburg game so weird, is that you're coming off of your best team performance in Westchester, and you followed up with one of your lesser performances.
Ball came out. Jordan Barnett for the first time this season fumbles, and East Stroudsburg recovers the football. And that could be the momentum that the Warriors have been looking for all afternoon. It's East Stroudsburg ball on the Barnett fumble, right when it felt like Shepherd could just kind of milk some more clock, get into the end zone potentially, and make it pretty tough for East Stroudsburg to come back. Now at 24-7 with 5 minutes to go in this third quarter, the Warriors have some life, Travis.
And again, the Rams, like you mentioned, looking to impose their will on that drive, giving it to their big downhill thumper, and Barnett has not put the ball on the turf so far this season. That's his first fumble. But East Stroudsburg, we talked about their linebacking core, that front seven, very tough up front, so they were just digging in, trying to make a play. And now East Stroudsburg, not many breaks have gone this way. Let's see what they can do with this one.
That is the 22nd fumble of the season for Shepherd, the 9th lost on the year. Here's a pass to the tight end in the flat. It's caught but doesn't go very far on that one. Hauling it in was big number 83, Jonathan Post.
That was Derek Adames coming up, making a good open field tackle on that tight end. Again, East Stroudsburg, they don't go to their tight ends often, but they are very productive as far as putting points on the board. So kind of surprised that they haven't gone to them more often.
Well, they just haven't really completed too many passes today. As Tobias looking to throw here, looking deep down that far sideline. A lot of fighting on both sides, but Cook comes back and makes a great catch. Coverage there, Christian McDowell. No penalty on the play, but good comeback there by the wide receiver.
And again, Tobias just a lot more comfortable in the pocket. You get to see just that experience is shining through, just not being rattled, standing tall in the pocket, delivering strikes.
Play action. Tobias takes a shot, looking for the end zone. Caught! Touchdown, East Stroudsburg. Hauling it in on the route was Pfizer. Tobias took a shot in the pocket, but he delivered a strike to the end zone. Stroudsburg gets back in the game now at 24-13 with the extra point running on.
And McDowell, 2 plays back-to-back where he's given up big gains. The last one for a touchdown, and East Stroudsburg turning that turnover into points almost immediately. And again, you've seen flashes. You've seen why East Stroudsburg is a team that's average over 35 points per game on offense, and they have the talent. They've just been hit or miss so far today and a lot more misses.
Extra point is up and good, and our score, Shepherd 24, East Stroudsburg 14. They're back in it here with 4 minutes to go in this third quarter. Let's take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, shrimp nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
We welcome you back here to Shepherd. And good throw that time from Tobias to Pfizer for the touchdown. East Stroudsburg back into the ball game now at 24-14 with just over 4 minutes to go in this third quarter. Our scoring drives are brought to you by Paul Espinoza for State Senate, an effective fiscally conservative voice for the 16th District.
And that was a great throw by Tobias, but also a great route run that time by Randy Pfizer. Did a good job of giving his quarterback just enough space there on the sideline to drop it in for the touchdown.
A penalty on, looks like both sides. Shepherd trying to do its best on his kick return. Miles Greer probably ran about 75 yards on that return as he just kept bouncing off tacklers, running all over the place. But we have a bunch of penalties on the field, 2 of them I see. And we'll see who it ends up going against. But this third quarter brought to you on TV 10 by W. Harley Miller Systems, providing custom integration services like home and office automation, home theater, networking, audio, video distribution, and more. Call 304-350-1931 or visit WHMsystems.com, as well as Smallwood and Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive. Call 304-263-3361. And the holding is going to go against the Rams. Bring the ball back to the 15-yard line. So, Travis, again, the Shepherd offense trying to put the game away. And what comes back to hurt them? The fumbles. 22 of them now on the year. Only 9 have been lost out of those 22. But just when you put the ball on the turf so much, you know teams are going to go after it. And it wasn't Malachi Brown that time. It was Jordan Barnett, a guy that's been very good at securing the football. So Shepherd has had its issues with those fumbles all season. And Morgan will go play action, looking to throw. Takes a hit. Ball is tipped and intercepted. Intercepted at the 35-yard line. Picked off on the play by Hussett. Morgan was hit as he threw, and that led to a wobbly pass, and Hussett was right in the perfect spot to intercept it, and all of a sudden East Stroudsburg has the momentum.
Getting the ball back with good field position, they turn that last turnover into instant points, and they're going to try to do the same here with this drive. And again, Shepherd had a chance to kind of slam the door shut with that initial drive. They did eat a lot of time off of the clock, which is important, but you got to come away with those touchdowns once you get down inside the red zone, and you give an opportunity to a football team like this. Again, they're playing with a lot of pride, a lot of confidence this year, so you don't want to give them any type of thoughts that they can claw their way back into this game, but that's exactly what they've been doing here so far in the third quarter.
Rams showing blitz and bring blitz. Play action. High pass intercepted. It's picked off by Shepherd. Running down the sideline is Naeem Alexander with just the quarterback to beat. Stumbles out of the tackle and takes it in for the touchdown. Shepherd. Right after the interception, a ball on a high pass ends up in the hands of Alexander, and he returns it all the way for the touchdown. And it's 30-14 with 3:39 to go in the third quarter. It seemed like things were collapsing for Shepherd, that East Stroudsburg was going to get back into it, but the Rams defense gets a pick six, and the Rams can now breathe, Travis.
And again, it was something where East Stroudsburg able to beat Shepherd deep on the last one, so they knew the coverage was going to be playing off, so they tried to go for an underneath pass. The wide receiver, it was going to be a difficult catch, but he certainly had both hands on the ball, not able to bring it in, and Naeem Alexander was like, well, if you don't want it, I'll take it, and I'll take it all the way to the house and extend the lead for the Rams.
So now it is 31-14 as the extra point good from Bozick. 3:39 to go in this third quarter. We will take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Cody, thank you.
For what?
For your military service.
Oh, kid, it was an honor, and you're welcome.
What branch?
The Air Force.
My dad was a Marine.
Well, thank him for his service, too.
We should thank all the veterans out there listening.
I think you got that right, kid. You might be smart after all. Happy Veterans Day from our staff at Cody's Auto Body.
And McKenna.
Yeah, that little brat, too.
Cody! I'm not a brat.
We welcome you back to Ram Stadium. Shepherd 31, East Stroudsburg 14. Naeem Alexander with the pick six right after things were looking bad for the Rams. They fumble the football. That leads to an East Stroudsburg touchdown drive. And you think, okay, they come out, they throw it with Morgan. He gets hit as he throws. It's intercepted. East Stroudsburg has great field position. Ball at the 35-yard line. They throw a pass. It's off the hands of the wide receiver into the hands of Naeem Alexander. He takes it back for six, and now all of a sudden it's a completely different ball game. You feel like Shepherd's in control again, but still a lot of time left, so you never know what can happen in what has been a crazy game. Here's Cook on the return across the 25-yard line.
Cook was the wide receiver that had a chance to bring that catch in. Again, he had to go up to the top shelf to make that catch. Certainly a catch that he's capable of making, but on that one, you tip that ball up in the air. Those defensive backs, they run that tip drill for a reason for plays like that. Naeem Alexander showing he has the athleticism to do something with it after he gets the ball in his hands, and Tobias did a good job to try to bring him down. But Alexander, not to be denied, able to take it in and, again, push this lead back out to 17, and it looks like that East Stroudsburg has been at this hole for most of today's ball game.
Yeah, I mean, again, the momentum seemed to flip toward the Warriors, but the Rams get a huge play defensively and now have some breathing room. Here's the run play with Lewis, and Lewis with a good gain on first down. Gets across the 30-yard line. Yeah, it's one that you feel like receiver could have made that play. It was a little bit of a high pass, but if you're East Stroudsburg, it's going to be tough, but you got to kind of just forget about it and move on. You can and try to get back into this thing now. So, second down and 6 after the 4-yard pickup. There's a run play to the outside. Amari Terry in on that tackle for Shepherd. Bring up a 3rd and 5 for the Warriors. 2:50 to go in this third quarter. Tobias looking toward that sideline for the play call. It'll be about 3rd and 3.
And that's just unfortunate for the quarterback that the interception has to go on his stat line when he was able to deliver the pass and hit the wide receiver in his hands. But that's why the quarterbacks get paid the big bucks. They get a lot of the credit, but they also get a lot of the blame.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens here on this 3rd and 3 if Tobias can make a play after that interception. Tobias looking deep. He's hit as he throws. He had his wide receiver again. John Siggins was running open, but I think that hit as he probably threw off that pass a little bit. But Siggins clearly a big play wideout today. Just hasn't had his opportunities due to some throws. And good credit to the Shepherd defense. They got pressure on him.
Yeah. I mean, if you're having difficulty in coverage, one of the ways you're going to be able to help yourself is to put a little pressure on the quarterback, speed up that clock a little bit, make him make a decision, and take that check down. And Siggins looked like he may have stopped on that play, thinking that his quarterback took a big shot. He's going to have to work back to the ball, but Tobias able to get enough on the ball, and Siggins just was not able to reel it in.
So it's a 3-and-out for East Stroudsburg, and Miles Greer will go back and let it bounce, rolling inside the 10, and you probably wish that Greer
has just done an outstanding job. Yeah. He's quite the kicker, taking control of all the kicking duties for East Stroudsburg.
Not the extra points. He's not the place kicker.
No. Well, they haven't had to use the place kicker too much for the extra points. I'm sure he could do it. If they needed him, he could do it.
So far.
Yeah.
Haven't had to use the extra points too often, but 31-14 our score, just over 2 minutes to go in this 3rd quarter, and this is where Shepherd threw its interception pretty much, backed up inside their own 10-yard line at the 9. We'll see if they continue the aggressive play calling, and we'll go back to that ground game of Malachi Brown. Brown does get the carry and spins out of a tackler and then gets hit hard from Blackwell. That's coming through initially. Blowing up was Felizor. He read it all the way. Just a better job by Malachi to avoid the tackle.
Just the way Felizor was able to play kind of reminds me last year, West Tester, Jackson Taylor, outstanding linebacker. Just tremendous range, great instincts, just a tremendous tackler. And Felizor, we knew he was going to say his name a lot today, and we certainly have. Almost had an opportunity for a tackle for a loss on that play.
4-yard gain. Here's Brown again, running patiently behind that offensive line. There's Felizor in on the tackle that time. I think they're going to spot him a little bit short of this first down. So it should be about 3rd and 1. 1:10 to go in this 3rd quarter. It is Shepherd 31, East Stroudsburg 14. Ball moving out to about the 17, 18-yard line.
Malachi Brown checks out of the game, got rolled up a little bit in the pile, was able to walk off under his own power. So Barnett checks in, back at running back.
See what East Stroudsburg draws up here defensively. They run Barnett. He avoids the initial tackle, kind of running horizontal to that line of scrimmage. I'm not sure if he got there. Making the tackle there for East Stroudsburg was Hussett, I believe. And they are saying 4th down, so Shepherd will be forced to punt on their own side of the field here. Well, at least you would expect a punt. They're keeping the offense out there. We might see Seth Morgan pooch punt, and I don't think they're going to go for it up 31-14, but also there's only 15 seconds to go before the quarter, so may just let the quarter run down and then run the punt unit out there. But Morgan has been known to punt as well, so something to keep your eye on here. On 4th and inches, but they're going to let it go to the 4th quarter, and our score, Shepherd 31, East Stroudsburg 14. We will take a 1-minute break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. We're back at 60.
I'm Jonathan Bodwell, Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare and life insurance agency. We are here to help you navigate the Medicare maze. We represent all of the major carriers, and you do not pay any more to go through us than if you go directly through a carrier. But if you go through us, you have a local professional to help you with all your Medicare needs, not a voice that could be in some other part of the world. Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare agency. BodwellInsuranceSolutions.com or 304-283-0864.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs. Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596.
We welcome you back here to Ram Stadium. It is Shepherd 31, East Stroudsburg 14 as we begin this fourth quarter. It's a 4th down and 1 for the Rams on their own 18-yard line. So, yes, the punting unit has ran onto the field and Ryan Barrick. So East Stroudsburg's going to get the ball back here, Travis. They're going to get good field position. This game far from over, but they're going to need some big plays here in this fourth quarter.
Big plays operate with a sense of urgency. Time is very much a factor, and a 17-point hole here to start the fourth quarter.
Barrick's punt goes out of bounds at around the 46-yard line. So trying to avoid the return, we saw Deontay Crawford have some explosiveness on these returns in the past, and Tobias and the offense back out on the field. Momentum seemed to be heading toward East Stroudsburg. A Jordan Barnett fumble, and the Warriors took over, scored a touchdown. Then Shepherd on the very next play offensively throws an interception. So there's back-to-back turnovers, but Tobias with the pick six, Naeem Alexander coming up with it. That made the score 31-14 instead of potentially 24-21 or 24-17. And it's made it a different ball game here, but as we begin this fourth quarter, still a lot of time. East Stroudsburg with good field position here at the 46-yard line. Man goes in motion from right to left. And they will run. Again, that explosive return man in Crawford.
I think it's going to be a horse collar.
But a penalty coming in.
That was Harold O'Neal. Did a good job to get in the backfield to blow that play up, but I think that's going to be a horse collar. Which you're never quite sure how some referees are going to call that, because they'll give you some type of condition for them to have to call the play. But most of the time when they're reaching their hand down, they grab the back of that jersey and pull them down. It's going to be a horse collar. Yeah.
Yep, so that's the call going against Shepherd. And penalties, again, we've had a lot of these personal foul type penalties, these 15-yarders that have hurt teams.
Yeah, they're not nickel and diming out there. They're going straight for the big ones.
Shepherd had a few of those. East Stroudsburg's had a few of those, and both of them have had those penalties come back to hurt them with some touchdowns. So we'll see what happens on this drive. 1st down and 10 now for the Warriors as they move the ball into Ram territory to the 39-yard line. Tobias rolling, dumps it down on the shovel pass to Mills, and that doesn't go anywhere. Emilio Pena and Dwayne Grantham on that tackle. Good play design, but didn't work out. They brought a running back in from wide receiver position and then lined him up kind of as a tight end H-back. But play didn't work out for him. 3-yard pickup, 2nd down and 7.
And again, that might have been something that's where they used their fullback, and it's a little bit harder to disguise it when you put in one of your running backs in that position. It's hard for him to go unnoticed.
In the flat. Good tackle in space from Naeem Alexander. He goes low and brings him down. Down to about the 33, about a 3-yard pickup on the play. We'll bring up a 3rd down and 4. Yeah, I think, too, maybe that was kind of an extension of that run game since they've been reading out a lot of their initial runs. Maybe you try to mix something up with the flip to the back, but Shepherd did a good job.
Yeah, and a lot of times you'll see that play down towards the goal line. A lot of teams like using that play in the red zone, but right now East Stroudsburg is trying to do what they can.
Yeah, the Chiefs love it with Travis Kelce, of course, but not that many teams have Travis Kelce on the team. Here's a pass underneath, and a good job by the Rams defense, flying to the football. Once again, Emilio Pena. He is back, and his presence has been felt in a big way for the Rams.
And that looked like that was a wrinkle off of the play that they scored their first touchdown on, where they sent that wide receiver in that orbit motion, and they came back with that screen pass to the backside for the touchdown. That time, just a different look. Instead of going to the running back, leaking it out there to the tight end. But the Rams, again, you might catch them out of position initially, but they're super smart, and they are very good at making their adjustments throughout the course of a game.
Loss of 1 on the play, 4th down and 5. East Stroudsburg forced to go for it here. 5 on the play clock, 12:43 on the game clock. Tobias throws, tipped at the line, has to catch it himself. Omari Terry making an excellent play. He tipped the pass and then brought down Tobias in the backfield. It's a turnover on downs, and Shepherd takes over here, up 31-14 with 13:35 to go in this fourth quarter.
And again, what a difference a week makes. Last week, giving up 14 points, and that was a bit too much for the Rams offense to overcome. This week, Rams defense, once again, giving up 14 points here so far. But the difference is that the offense has been able to capitalize on those opportunities when they have the ball in their hands. Also, the defense scored some points again this week with Naeem Alexander really making a critical play in the ball game.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you're walking away feeling pretty good about how Shepherd played today, and you've forgotten about last week. It may not matter. If you get a win over a team that's ranked 4th in the region, you're 9. Some other games are going to be played between teams that are also ranked or on the outside looking in, so a lot of the rankings are going to change from this week to next week. You should be able to beat Mercyhurst next week, who's got a few wins this year. For some reason, we were looking, they played Ferris State week 1.
They lost the bet on that one. I don't know why you would choose. Yeah, I don't know why you go choose to play Ferris State,
especially on the road.
Yeah.
But hey, I guess it's a good experience for you at the very least. See where you're at as a program. But 31-14, our score here. Still a lot of game left, and the Rams throwing it underneath, complete to Cordell Batten, who spins out of a tackle. It's thrown down at around the 44-43 yard line. In on that play is Matthew Davis.
Redshirt junior with a sure-handed tackle, 6'2", 225.
And Shepherd still needs to, close this thing out. I feel like the offense in this second half hasn't nearly been as good as the first half. Even if you hold on to win, you're going to walk away kind of feeling a little bit like you missed some things offensively. So this is a big 3rd down here. They're looking deep for Barry Hill, and
picked off.
Was picked off. Wasn't in Hussett's hands, but running away with it here is Crumpton, and Crumpton takes it inside the 10-yard line. Hussett, I thought, had it initially. Must have bounced off of him and into the hands of Crumpton.
And looks like Hill had a step initially, and the pass kind of sailed again. Morgan not able to really force that ball down the field. The defender made a good job to tip it up in the air. And then the young redshirt freshman able to pick it off and set up again and again. Like this East Stroudsburg team just keeps hanging around. The Rams have had them on the ropes several times, but not able to put them away. And that's just never a good thing. We talked about that coming into today's game. They have to protect the ball on the offensive side of the ball. And so far we've seen a total of, what's it now, 4 turnovers?
3, I believe. But they've put the ball on the turf.
It was 2 picks and 2 fumbles.
Yes, but the one fumble they recovered.
Okay.
So it wasn't a turnover. 1st down and 10 here from the 12. They'll run Lewis, and Lewis gets
Terry smacked. Good job. He's been tough over there on the edge.
2nd down and 10 here from the 12. Again, the Ram defense has been known to get its stops down here in the red zone this season, so definitely not guaranteed points here for East Stroudsburg. Shepherd also missed a field goal today. If you want to go back to some more kind of negative things about this performance so far, even though on the scoreboard it's going to look pretty good so far. We'll see if East Stroudsburg can get back into it. Tobias looking toward the end zone, and Holden. No, incomplete. Almost a great one-handed grab on that one for East Stroudsburg, trying to hit their tight end post, but broken up on the play, and it'll be 3rd down and 11 from the 12.
Down this close to the end zone, it's money time for your tight ends. If you got a guy like Jonathan Post, 6'5", 225-pound redshirt senior, doesn't get the ball thrown his direction often, but he does have 4 touchdowns coming into today's contest.
Yeah, you got Post. You also have Stort, who's been effective in these situations. shift the formation in tight now on 3rd and 11 from the 12. Tobias rolling to the left, looking still toward the end zone, still extends the play, throws it over the middle and incomplete.
And usually a lot of times when they bring in a tight formation like that, you're going to run some type of mesh concept where you're going to try to run a defender into somebody and maybe somebody breaks free. But, again, no reason for the quarterback to force that play. You're down 3 scores, so you're going to have to get a field goal in there some way. So you would like to have come away with a touchdown, but it's still an all's not lost. You can get some points, certainly not a gimme at this distance. But if you can get this field goal, you can still come away with something positive, and you still have a viable path to get back into this ball game.
So Bartholomew kicks the field goals, but he doesn't kick the extra points. 4th and 11. The field goal here from Bartholomew is up and good. That is his 4th make on the year. He's now 4 of 6 on the season, and he nails that one from about 29 yards away, I believe it was, or so. But the field goal was good. 10:53 to go in this 4th quarter. Our score now, Shepherd 31, East Stroudsburg 17. Let's take a 30-second break.
Finally, West Virginia is moving in the right direction. As your West Virginia Senate President, Craig Blair has passed the most conservative legislative agenda in the nation. He has fought for our values like banning elective abortions, protecting our Second Amendment rights, and prevented boys from playing in girls' sports. Senator Craig Blair championed the largest tax cut in the history of our state. Craig Blair, a strong conservative leader. Promises made, promises kept. This election, vote for Republican Craig Blair for State Senate. Paid for by the Committee to Re-elect Craig Blair.
We welcome you back here to Ram Stadium. Our score, Shepherd 31, East Stroudsburg 17, 10:53 to go in this 4th quarter. So East Stroudsburg gets the pick, gets it all the way inside the 15-yard line, but can't do anything with it, Travis, besides settle for the field goal. You didn't get the touchdown, which is what you really needed there, it felt like. But our scoring drives are brought to you by Paul Espinoza for State Senate, an effective fiscally conservative voice for the 16th district, and Shepherd will just take a knee on this kickoff. So we get ready now to continue this 4th quarter. Our 4th quarter is presented to you by Smallwood and Small Insurance in Martinsburg, located at 121 Administrative Drive. Your total insurance solution. Call 304-263-3361. And Travis, Shepherd on offense, I think, again, they need to close things out strong at the very least. Even if you hold on to win, the second half hasn't been what you wanted from Shepherd.
You think back to last week's game in that 3rd quarter, that's when things got really hairy for that Rams offense. It was a lot of turnovers, a lot of miscues, and that was something that was just enough for the Huskies to stay in that game and ultimately win it. And right now the Rams are just having trouble just getting anything sustained since that first drive where they had to settle for a field goal.
There's Barnett up the middle. Our other 4th quarter sponsor here on TV 10 is the Dutch Miller Automotive Group, home of friends and family pricing. 10:35 to go in this 4th quarter. It's Shepherd 31, East Stroudsburg 17. And Shepherd has it 2nd down and about 8 from the 26-yard line. Morgan looking deep for Jeremiah Taylor, and incomplete. Coverage has been good on Taylor so far today.
Yeah, it was the short side of the field. You like that matchup as far as the mismatch size, the mismatch in size in favor of the Rams, but not sure why you take a deep shot on that one. I think it's most important that you just keep this clock running. You want to establish some type of rhythm. You don't want to hang on for dear life to get this win, but a win is a win is a win, and this is critical. If the Rams want to get into the postseason, that they are able to notch a win against a very good East Stroudsburg club, but run that clock.
Well, they're going to throw it again here on 3rd down and 8, and it is complete over the middle to the wide receiver for Shepherd. That's Cordell Batten. And, Travis, I think if you do throw the ball in these situations, do those type of passes that we know are Seth Morgan's strengths. Over the middle, these deep balls down the sideline hasn't really been his strength.
No, it's 50-50 balls, and he's been able to rely on his wide receivers to make plays on the ball, but just when the breaks are not going your way, you can't rely on those type of plays. And, again, he's much more comfortable attacking the middle of the field do that. Just play to your players' strengths.
They throw that sideline screen complete to Cam Dorner. I wonder what the game would be like if East Stroudsburg would be able to make these tackles in space and put a little bit more pressure on these screens. I mean, I know they don't want to get beat over the top, but they're letting these have these 3-4 yard gains on these screenplays.
And again, I mean, they have undersized defensive backs, and the Rams are just, pressing their advantage of just having the bigger, more physical wide receivers. But on that play, you pick up 3-4 yards, but you also go out of bounds and stop the clock.
Yeah. Second down at 6. Morgan handing off to Barnett. There's a good run up the middle for the first down. Coming up and making the tackle was Crumpton. It's a first down, Shepherd, as they move the ball into East Stroudsburg territory. 8:50 to go in this fourth quarter. It is Shepherd 31, East Stroudsburg 17. First down for the Rams. Ball moving down to the 42-yard line. Morgan in the pistol. Barnett is the back.
Barnett's chomping at the bit because he put that ball on the turf, so he's anxious to get out there and prove himself.
It looks like East Stroudsburg jumped off sides.
Nice hard count.
So that will move the ball forward for the Rams. Again, Shepherd back in action next week for Senior Day against Mercyhurst. As they try to sneak back into the playoffs after last week's tough loss to Bloomsburg. The Rams have bounced back here today and hold a 31-17 lead over the East Stroudsburg Warriors, a very good East Stroudsburg team coming in at 8-1, Shepherd at 7-2. And they will run the ball with Barnett, and Barnett shedding off tacklers, trying to get to the outside, gets a block from Taylor, has the first down, and
tries to
out of bounds.
That's a lot of mass that you got to try to stop here on the sidelines. He was rolling full speed. He tried to stay in bounds with just his momentum. Wasn't agreeing with him as he went out of bounds, but just a good run again. Just Barnett just showing a full repertoire of what a running back can do, just using that little pressure step inside where it's a little stutter step, and he's able to let that offensive line do their dirty work up front, and then he's able to pop it outside and pick up a nice big gain. He had to break a tackle in the backfield to make that play.
Nazir Russell in the backfield, and Russell is stuffed on the play. There he is. I haven't seen him too much here from McCarthy, but he came off the edge and made the play in the backfield. Russell coming off of that knee injury that forced him to miss several games, but they add him to this backfield room. And again, this was an East Stroudsburg defense that had 28 sacks coming into today. Haven't gotten a ton of pressure on Morgan, or at least to bring him down in the backfield. And there McCarthy came off the edge and made a good play in the run game.
They've been more so, especially here in the second half, getting pressure to disrupt throws where it's like they're not able to get home to bring him down for the sack, but they have forced him into some bad passes.
Morgan looking for Taylor on that far side, and it's caught. Touchdown, Shepherd. Jeremiah Taylor wins the one-on-one matchup, and the Rams might have just put it away with the touchdown pass. 37-17 with 6:57 to go. Noah coverage. It's been an up-and-down day for him.
And again, Taylor just having a bit of a size advantage on Hambrick. Hambrick, 5'8", 155 pounds, going up against Taylor, 6'2", 190. I think the advantage is clearly in favor of Taylor. And you can see that was something that the Rams offense identified early on to try to exploit it, but that was the first time they've been connected. It was a block kick.
Yeah, extra point is blocked. So our score remains Shepherd 37, East Stroudsburg 17, 6:57 to go in this fourth quarter. We will take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
The challenges of tomorrow need a leader of character. A West Point graduate, a retired active duty Army veteran with 27 years of uniformed service, a battle-tested leader who knows what it means to serve. We need conservative Mac Warner. As a veteran, family man, and lifelong servant leader, Mac has the values and experience to fight for our children, our families, and our future. Mac Warner is ready to serve.
We welcome you back here to Ram Stadium. 37-17, Shepherd, 6:57 to go in this fourth quarter. Shepherd getting on the board again with the Jeremiah Taylor touchdown reception as the Rams kept wanting to get that play in, and they hadn't had it work out for him, but there it works out for 6. Taylor hauling it in from Morgan. Our scoring drives are brought to you by Paul Espinoza for State Senate, an effective fiscally conservative voice for the 16th District. Here's a kickoff return from Cook out to about the 24-yard line before he's tackled by Johnson on the play. And now East Stroudsburg will take over, Travis. The 6:49 left. They blocked the PAT to keep it at a 37-17 game.
And again, East Stroudsburg, they have shown flashes. They've made plays here and there. What the problem has been is that it hasn't been sustained. It hasn't been consistent. If you want to beat the team the caliber of Shepherd, you have to play consistently. That was something that Bloomsburg was able to do last week. They just played consistently throughout the game where they didn't let up. They knocked on the door constantly, and that's how they were able to come away with a win.
Tobias takes the snap, looking to throw, looking deep. Tobias is intercepted at the 40-yard line. Coming away with it for the Rams.
I think it was McDowell.
Yeah, I believe it was Christian McDowell on that far side. He's slow to get up.
I think he fell on the ball. Yeah, he fell on the ball, kind of knocked the wind out of him. But McDowell coming in, it played great. He's come in off the bench this year, filling in, and that'll be his 4th interception of the season. So not too bad that when one of your backups can lead your team in interceptions.
Well, he was getting a lot of time at safety, more so than corner, so they've kind of moved him down to that corner spot. They had him in that safety rotation of him, Greer, and a few others. But, yeah, you're right. This isn't the position that he thought he was going to play. For him to step up and play the role that he's played has been huge for the Rams.
And that's an unusual switch. A lot of times you'll see corners get moved back to safety. Not too often you see a safety getting moved up to a corner.
Yeah, I think he, when I was talking to him, if I'm remembering correctly, I think he played corner in high school, so it was a move back to a position he was familiar with as they get it out to the 45-yard line. 37-17, our score, 6:30 to go in this fourth quarter. Rams looking to just run the ball out here. I mean, East Stroudsburg knew they had to get down the field quickly, score quickly. Tobias has thrown some good deep balls, but that one picked off.
Yeah, he threw that one up just hoping that his wide receiver was going to be able to make a play, and that time McDowell just had great inside leverage and did a good job of just boxing out the offensive player and coming down with the interception, essentially putting the game on ice.
Presuming Shepherd doesn't turn it over, which may be a big presumption.
Yes, that could be a leap.
Here's Malachi Brown. Ball came out. My fault, maybe. But
it did. It bounced right back to him.
So, again, big presumption there. Under 6 minutes left. Shepherd on top, 37-17. 5:40 to go in this one. It will be 3rd down for the Rams.
You don't want to look ahead to the offseason just yet, but if that Rams coaching staff is looking for a piece of equipment that they want to bring into the program, it's going to be a gauntlet for the running backs. The way that they put the ball on the ground, they need to do something to try to shore that up because you can't
get some stick-em.
Yeah, something. Some double-sided tape. They need to do something to address it. You just can't continue to put the ball on turf like that, and eventually it's going to come back to haunt you.
Low snap for Morgan. Pass complete underneath to Jordan Barnett, and Barnett just keeps going.
He's just a dude out there. He's so big, so physical. Not many catches this year for Barnett. Coming in, I believe that's only his 3rd catch of the season. He certainly got his money's worth on that one. Everybody on the defense had a chance to take a shot on him. He's just like a pinball going down the field.
Yeah, I mean, when you see him catch it, it almost was like, I was like, wait, was that the guy they were using as the lead back? 'Cause he's big, especially, you know, the way he just looks out there makes him look a little bit bigger. I don't know.
Yes, he does look bigger.
He doesn't look like your typical receiver. How about that? And then when you see that, you're like, oh, is that number 3 or is that Jordan Barnett? And look at him just carrying the entire East Stroudsburg defense.
You can at this point in the game, you got a running back like that, and you've been running the ball all day. The defense, they just don't want that smoke at this point. They don't want to try to tackle that guy.
Definitely, a great addition to this team. And Nazir Russell had that injury. Shepherd was looking for that second back. And I don't know if they just didn't see it in the offseason, but whatever opportunity Barnett was given, he proved it to have earned it, and now has become arguably their best running back in terms of yards per carry. And here's Malachi in the backfield here, and Malachi's done some good things today as well. Gets it inside the 20, another first down. Again, the only real key will be for these guys, can they hold on to the football? Because when they hold on to the football, they both average over 5 yards a carry.
Yeah, I mean, you love the absolute, the offensive production, the yards per carry, catching the ball out of the backfield, picking up blitzes. That's something that you always want to factor in when you're evaluating a running back is, can I trust you on third down to stick your face in the fan and pick up that blitzing linebacker? And time again, they've answered the call in that regard. So it's not that they're not making the good plays. It's the small things that you want to do, and holding onto the ball, that's pretty important. That's pretty much the only job that's imperative for a running back is you have to hold onto the ball.
Malachi squeaking through the holes of the defense, gets it inside the 5-yard line, and another good run there, and Crumpton comes up to make the tackle and kind of looks over like, what are we doing? We're just letting these guys gash us here toward the end. 2:35 to go. Shepherd now with it first and goal down to the 6-yard line for the Rams. 2:25 to go as they can kind of try to run the clock out. Probably not trying to score in this situation, even though the touchdown would just continue to put it away. But I would imagine Shepherd, with the score being the way it is, would like to kind of run the clock out as much as they can. They probably can't run the whole thing out, so they may have to score here. But Morgan takes the snap. They'll give it to Barnett. Barnett has worked hard, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Shepherd. Great blocking on that play from the Rams offensive line, and Barnett is into the end zone. It is Shepherd 43, East Stroudsburg 17. And another thing you have to consider, too, I mean, obviously Shepherd's not trying to run the score up or anything, but style points may look good toward those voters that are deciding on if you're going to get into the playoffs. So 43-17 win looks a lot better than some of the other wins we've seen.
Every little bit helps, and you just want to get this offense into a good rhythm. You want to get that confidence going again.
Extra point.
Boy, you pulled it to the left.
Yeah, that's back-to-back misses on the PATs from James Bozick. So 43-17 is our score. 2:01 to go. 30-second break. This is Shepherd Ranch Football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
At Dutch Miller Automotive, we've grown quite a bit over the last 60 years, but our core principles remain the same. We believe in treating our customers and our team members like friends and family. And we see it as our obligation to give back to all the communities we are so fortunate to do business in. In just West Virginia alone, we've grown from one location on the west end of Huntington to 10 rooftops employing more than 500 Mountaineers. Check out the inventory from all of our stores at DutchMillerAuto.com. Dutch Miller Automotive Group, West Virginia proud.
43-17 our score, just over 2 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith. The Rams get into the end zone again on the Jordan Barnett touchdown run. Shepherd starting to run the ball really well. Our scoring drive summaries are brought to you by Paul Espinoza for State Senate, an effective fiscally conservative voice for the 16th District. Just over 2 minutes to play in this fourth quarter. The Rams will kick it deep to East Stroudsburg. And the kick from Bozick is short, fielded by Cook at around the 6-yard line. Shepherd doing a good job filling those lanes, but Cook bouncing off tacklers, comes back to the near side. A flag is in on this play, most likely an illegal black, as Miles Greer knocks it out of bounds at the 40-yard line. But anytime a guy cuts back, you tend to get holdings and blocks in the back. So this will most likely take away that big return, but only 1:50 left in this one. It's essentially all but over.
And how many positive plays has East Stroudsburg made today, only to have it negated by a penalty? It may not be something where the yardage is really going to jump off the page at you, but it was just the timing. It was just critical timing of when these penalties cropped up for East Stroudsburg, and it just derailed any type of momentum that they've been able to get going today. They've had flashes, but it just hasn't been sustained. It just hasn't been consistent. And like we mentioned, if you're going to beat Shepherd, it's going to have to be consistent. You're going to have to be consistent for 4 quarters to come away with a win versus this ball club.
Yeah, I mean, the game was scoreless until 8:57 left in the second quarter when Brian Jester scored that touchdown. And then, if you remember, Travis, what happened to East Stroudsburg? They fumbled the football. Shepherd went right back down, got up 14-0, and really from that point forward.
That's been basically the difference in the game.
It's been East Stroudsburg just continuing to trail by that margin or more. So here's the run with Tobias. Gamble comes up, makes the tackle, another flag. This is going to be a hold against East Stroudsburg, I believe.
I believe Raymond Christus, the center, is going to be the guilty party on that one. He had his hands full with Richie Aguilar out there on the edge. And
yeah, I mean, it's been impressive, too. The Shepherd bounce back. I wasn't certain how they would bounce back with the situation being what it was, last week against Bloomsburg. But for the most part, you feel pretty good about this one. If you're Shepherd, East Stroudsburg still has a shot to be a playoff team this year. They're going to need probably to win next week against Cal, as Cal is also in that top 7 as of right now.
But like you mentioned earlier, certainly disappointing loss against Bloomsburg, but it really didn't change anything as far as your postseason aspirations, especially when you had a team like East Stroudsburg left on your schedule, because you still had a chance to make that jump to get into the big dance.
Yeah, I mean, all it really meant was essentially they probably would have been in already this week. Like they would be in right now. But you still have 2 more games left either way, so they were probably still going to have to go on the road. Maybe they would get a home playoff game if they only had 1 loss, but it wouldn't be an entire home stretch, I don't believe, with how some of the teams have performed in Region 1. You're looking at 2 undefeateds, I believe, in Tiffin and Slippery Rock, both still undefeated heading into the day. So under a minute left in this one. Be interesting to see how many PSAC teams, though, do fill out that top 7, as typically it's viewed as the number 1 conference in Region 1. And this year, with so many close games, it does feel like it's living up to that hype. Under 40 seconds left in the ball game. Shepherd on top, 44-17. I believe, again, East Stroudsburg takes on Cal next week.
The Rams defense only giving up 17 points against a team that has averaged over 35 points per game. And big tackle that time, Grantham getting back on the field, and certainly gives that linebacking core a lot of versatility when you're able to have O'Neal, Grantham, and Yao Comey out there at the same time.
Big stop in the backfield. That's the final play of the game. Shepherd bounces back from its loss to Bloomsburg to get a win over East Stroudsburg today. 43-17. The 2 teams will shake hands. We'll take a 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, we'll have the Palace Lounge postgame show. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How can I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm John Everson, Private Wealth Advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna call my parents. Dad, come over. The brisket's done.
The Traeger Connected Experience. Everything you need for epic flavor, and then some.
Shop now and save at Orsini's today.
It's the Postgame Show. As we recap the scoring, bring you stats and analysis, scores from around the PSAC and Super Region 1, the Division 1 Top 25, and the latest on the West Virginia University Mountaineers and Marshall University Thundering Herd. Let's get it started as we go back to the field and rejoin our TV10 broadcast team.
We welcome you back to Ram Stadium. Shepherd getting the win 43-17 over the East Stroudsburg Warriors. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith here on the postgame show. Dylan Bishop, our cameraman, and back in the studio, Colin McLaughlin, as we welcome you into the postgame show, brought to you by the Palace Lounge on Edward Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg, with a full lunch and dinner menu with daily specials and a clean, comfortable atmosphere. Check out the menu on the Palace Lounge Facebook page. Travis, what were your thoughts on this one? Shepherd ends up pulling away and getting the good win.
Well, once again for Shepherd, it was a complete team effort. They made plays on offense, defense, and special teams, but also got to put a little asterisk next to it. It was kind of a sloppy football game, so it was kind of a combination of what we've seen the past 2 weeks as far as the Westchester game and the Bloomsburg game, but they were able to come out, make enough plays to go out and win and handle a very good East Stroudsburg team. Like we mentioned, they were coming in on a 4-game win streak and probably feeling that they had a chance to really get a win against the Rams. You know, these PSAC teams are probably getting a little bit ticked off at this point at Shepherd, thinking that this might be their year that they're able to knock off the Rams, but certainly not the case today for East Stroudsburg, as the Rams, a nip-and-tuck game at the beginning, again, able to make a couple of plays, get out to a double-digit lead, and one of the things that the Rams football team has been able to do very well over the past couple of years is get out to that lead and force the opposing team to kind of abandon the game plan that they wanted to do. Not only did East Stroudsburg have to abandon that run game that they've had so much success with, they've even had to switch up quarterbacks the way that Rams defense was able to do to that initial starter in Charlie McKee. He was rattled early on. They had to make a change. Tobias comes in at the quarterback position, gives them a little bit more stability at the quarterback, but at that point the damage was done. And East Stroudsburg, when you play catch-up, it eventually catches up with you, and that was the case for East Stroudsburg. They were never able really to cut into that 14, 17-point deficit, and the Rams, again, just able to show that type of grit and tenacity that they've shown all year long. This has been a team that's been able to overcome adversity and win tough games, and they were able to do that today versus East Stroudsburg.
All right, we'll take a 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, we'll hopefully be able to give you some post-game stats, and then we'll get to Travis's awards. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. We're back in 2 minutes.
The Skinner family has been representing West Virginians for more than 50 years.
We've changed the name of our firm to Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers because we want to be clear about what we do. We represent people who have been in car, truck, and other catastrophic accidents.
We're here to be a voice for the injured and vulnerable, and we take that job seriously with deep commitment to serving our clients wherever they are.
Just Google Skinner Accident Lawyer or visit SkinnerWins.com. We'll treat you like family.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
As a lifelong Jefferson County resident, Paul Espinosa has been a champion for the Eastern Panhandle. Paul is the effective, fiscally conservative voice we need in the West Virginia Senate. He's fought for job creation, student-centered education, the rights of the unborn, protecting our family farms, and was a leader in passing income tax relief for all West Virginians. When residents of the 16th Senatorial District cast their votes for their next senator, the choice is clear. Paul Espinosa for West Virginia State Senate. Paid for by Espinosa for Senate, Mary C. Espinosa, Treasurer.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
We welcome you back here to Shepherd. Shepherd getting the win over East Stroudsburg 43-17. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith, here on the Palace Lounge post-game show. Travis, let's get to your awards. We'll see if we get some stats. If not, we will wrap things up. But we'll start with the electrifying play of the game, brought to you by Orsini's Home Store, not just an appliance store any longer. They're located at 360 Hack Wilson Way in Martinsburg, or online at Orsinis.com. What is your electrifying play of the game?
Well, my electrifying play of the game kind of turned just the whole complexion of the game. It's going to go to Naeem Alexander, the pick six in the third quarter with 3:39 left in the ball game. It was something where East Stroudsburg was just, they were surging at that point. Really had the momentum on their sidelines, but just a tipped pass. The wide receiver had a chance to bring it in to kind of keep the ball rolling for East Stroudsburg. He did not bring it in cleanly, and Naeem Alexander was able to do the rest, took it, and was able to go almost 70 yards to take that in for a touchdown. Had to break a tough tackle as the quarterback gave chase, but my electrifying play of the game goes to Naeem Alexander for a pick six in the third quarter.
All right. Now the collision of the game brought to you by Cody's Auto Body at 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg. Family-owned, offering superior customer service and great pricing for a job done by experienced, certified technicians. Call 304-901-4777 or visit their Facebook page.
Well, since I gave the electrifying play of the game to Naeem Alexander, I was going to give him the catch of the game, but I don't want to,
collision.
Oh, collision of the game. I'm sorry. Thank you for calling me on that one. All right, so collision of the game. I'm going to give that one to Mujahid Johnson, the big hit on the quarterback, Charlie McKee, in the second quarter. You got to think, about 2 or 3 plays after that, McKee came out of the game. Not that we're celebrating somebody getting hurt, but it's just showing you the result of that crazy collision that Johnson was able to do coming up from his secondary position. So my collision of the game goes to Mujahid Johnson on the big hit on McKee in the second quarter.
I think good hands catch of the game. We kind of talked about it in the first half, but we'll give you the read here, and then you can make it official, Travis. Brought to you by Kelly Allstate Insurance. For all of your insurance needs, call Gary Kelly at 304-263-4596 or stop by 724 Lakeview Drive in Martinsburg.
Catch of the game is going to go to Barry Hill with the 15-yard touchdown catch in the second quarter with 1:28 left. He had to go up to the top shelf on that one to bring that one in his slot position. So catch of the game goes to Barry Hill with his 15-yard touchdown catch in the second quarter.
All right, finally, the player of the game brought to you by Bodwell Insurance Solutions, a local professional to help you with all of your Medicare needs. Go to BodwellInsuranceSolutions.com or call 304-283-0864.
Well, we've given it to groups before in the past this year, and it's going to be no different this week. This week, player of the game is going to go to that Rams defensive unit. They played outstanding football, only giving up 17 points to an offense that's been averaging over 35 points per game. They were stingy on third downs. They forced turnovers and basically made the play of the game to really turn the tide and put the game on ice with that interception by Naeem Alexander. So I got to take hats off to that Rams defense. The Rams defense is going to get my player of the game.
All right, so that does it for us here on the Palace Lounge post-game show. We'll take a 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, you'll hear from Kyle McLaughlin back in the studio. But once again, your final score, Shepherd 43, East Stroudsburg 17. Dylan Bishop, our cameraman, Travis Smith. And I'm Nick Verzolini saying so long here from Ram Stadium. Have a good rest of your day, everyone.
Ollie's VIP North Side is the best spot to catch all your favorite teams. Join us Monday for dollar wings and Monday Night Football. Thursdays on the patio for the cornhole tourney. Friday night lights with happy hour specials, or Saturdays during or after the college games for steak night. Get a ribeye or New York steak for just $26.95. Ollie's has great food and drink menus too, along with 17 TVs to watch any game of your choice from anywhere at the bar or their outdoor patio and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP North Side. We'll see you for the game.
I'm Jonathan Bodwell, Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare and life insurance agency. We are here to help you navigate the Medicare maze. We represent all of the major carriers, and you do not pay any more to go through us than if you go directly through a carrier. But if you go through us, you have a local professional to help you with all your Medicare needs, not a voice that could be in some other part of the world. Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare agency. BodwellInsuranceSolutions.com or 304-283-0864.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at whmsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
Cody, thank you.
For what?
For your military service.
Oh, kid, it was an honor, and you're welcome.
What branch?
The Air Force.
My dad was a Marine.
Well, thank him for his service, too.
You should thank all the veterans out there listening.
I think you got that right, kid. You might be smart after all. Happy Veterans Day from our staff at Cody's Auto Body.
And McKenna.
Yeah, that little brat, too.
Cody! I'm not a brat.
Welcome into the Extra Point post-game scoreboard show on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube as the Shepherd Rams improve to 8-2 with a 43-17 victory at home over East Stroudsburg, who also falls to 8-2 on the year. Let's now take a look at some scores from around the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Final score, IUP 39, Clarion 27. Also a final score, Slippery Rock 56, Edinburgh 18. Final score, California PA 34, Gannon 17. Final score, Bloomsburg 34, Millersville 31, so Bloomsburg with back-to-back wins. Final score, Kutztown gets a victory over Westchester 27-17. So we now flip over here to get those scores up for you as well on the screen. Lock Haven 21, Shippensburg 7. That one kicked off at 1 o'clock, so that still has 12 minutes and 42 seconds remaining in quarter number 4. And this one kicking off at 2 o'clock, so still 6 minutes, 24 seconds left in quarter number 2. It is Seton Hill 7, Mercyhurst nothing. That's some scores from around the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Let's now take a look at some NCAA top 25 action in Division I football. Number 1, Ohio State leads Rutgers now 28-16. Number 7, Kansas leads number 23, Kansas State 30-27. 7:57 to go in the fourth. It is number 10, Ole Miss 31, Texas A&M 28. Clemson still leads number 15, Notre Dame. That score 31-23 now. Number 17, Tennessee cruising past UConn 56-3 is the score with the fourth quarter still in action. Number 18, Utah leads Arizona State 14-13 in the second quarter. Army leads number 25, Air Force in the first 17-0, trying to end the Air Force Falcons' undefeated season, or the Army Black Knights. Kicking off at 3:30, it's number 12, number 12, Missouri at number 2, Georgia. My apologies there. At 3:30 as well, it's number 4, Florida State at Pittsburgh. Number 9, Oklahoma at Oklahoma State, who's ranked 22nd. Number 11, Penn State at Maryland. Virginia Tech at number 13, Louisville. Number 24, Tulane at East Carolina. Then at 5:30, it's California at number 6, Oregon. At 7 p.m., it's number 21, Kansas at Iowa State. 7:30 kickoff for Purdue at number 3, Michigan. Number 5, Washington at number 20, USC. 7:45 kickoff for number 14, LSU at number 8, Alabama. Number 16, Oregon State at Colorado kicks off at 10 p.m. And at 10:30, it's number 19, UCLA at Arizona. 7 p.m. kickoff on Fox tonight. You can watch the West Virginia Mountaineers as they host the BYU Cougars. You can also tune into that game on Talk Radio WRNR 106.5 FM AM channel 740 with pregame from the Mountaineer Sports Network starting at 4 p.m. But that wraps things up here on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. I'm Colin McLaughlin signing off again. Your final score, Shepherd 43, East Stroudsburg 17. You've been watching coverage of NCAA Division II football, featuring the Shepherd Rams in the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Today's coverage is brought to you by the Smallwood and Small Insurance Group, W. Harley Miller Systems, Chris Miller and the Dutch Miller Automotive Group, the Marius Group of Ameriprise Financial Advisors, Rock's Local Markets, Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, Bechtel Jewelers, CMA Honda of Winchester, Brown Funeral Home and Cremation Robert Fields & Sons, Orsini's Home Store, Hagerstown Ford, the Berkeley County Health Department, Modern Realty Results, and the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm. TV 10 Sports thanks you for watching today's game. All rights reserved.